grid, where the names don't fade, where the first turn shakes and the brave get made. PHG in the air, hear the whole room call. Season 4 tonight, yeah, we came to ball. Chrome on the nose and the tires scream. Every lap a test, every corner a dream. Legends in the lane with the pressure on. When the lights go down, we're already gone. PHG, PHG. Let it ring through the dome. Bring that fire to the track, bring it all back home. Drivers on edge, eyes locked, hands cold. One more shot at glory, one more story told. Helmet on tight, heart loud on my chest. Nerves like a wire, but I never rest. Grid full of ghosts with the title to keep. And the whole world waiting when the red lights sleep. Every move sharp, every line stays clean. Close on the inside, cut through the seam. If you want the crown, better hold that pace, cause the legends don't blink in a high-speed race. Hear that shit now. PHG, PHG, PHG. Feel it shake now. PHG, PHG. One breath, one line, one chance to shine. No backing off, it's go time. We go time. PHG, PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, PHG, hear that roar. Legends race here, and we want more. Late apex, pressure, I'm cutting it close. Paint on the bumper, I'm ghost to the ghost. They want my line, but I've been that raw. One hard pass and the whole room cool. Burnt out rubber on the edge of the fight. Every lap counts in the dead of night. If the pack comes close, I don't move back. I hit that gap like a clean attack. Hear that chant now. PHG, PHG, PHG. Feel it shake now. PHG, PHG. One breath, one line, one chance to shine. No backing off, it's go time. PHG, PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, PHG, hear that roar. Legends race here, and we want more. Yeah. Look at that lineup. Look at that pressure. This is where the fast learn fear, and the fearless learn speed. PHG, World Series Season 4. Not a warm-up, not a preview. This is the race. This is the run. This is where legends move. Take the signal, lock the pace. One more lap, one more chase. Hands stay steady, eyes stay true. Every rival pushing through. And the crowd all rise and the engine scream. We break the limit, we own the drive. PHG, PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, PHG, hear that roar. Legends race here, and we want more. PHG, legends race here. Season 4, we're live, we're locked, we're going.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHG World Series. We are in Season 4. This is Day 2 of the Round 5 qualifier at Mount Panorama. I am joined in the booth for our qualifying session today with my friend PHG Mustang Chuck. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing great, Sal. How you doing?
I'm Not doing bad. Not doing bad. Sounds like I'm doing better than the Midwest, which is under like tornado warnings and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're getting hammered pretty hard out here. So if for whatever reason you all hear me cut out or have to duck on out due to tornado sirens, that is the reason why.
Gotcha. Well, best of luck. Hopefully that does not happen. We are also joined with a special guest in the booth today. We got NVR's own Krulab. Krulab, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, Sal. I appreciate you asking and inviting me to talk tonight. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We're hoping we can get to know a little bit about the driver behind the wheel and what you guys have going on in NVR. If there's any latest and greatest information, or even some old information that not everybody may know, give you the opportunity to kind of brag about your team a bit as we go through qualifying tonight.
Sounds good.
All right, Shaggy's saying in the chat here that he is going to get our first qualifying session underway soon. Day 2 of qualifying here, we always focus on the Group 1 cars. For those unfamiliar, the PHG World Series Season 4 is a multi-class series. We run Group 1 cars and Group 3 cars on the track at the same time. For qualifying, we separate them. So it looks like for this first session, we've got 3 different Group 1 drivers, Talon, the Truth Serum, and Arrow, queued up and ready to go. Looks like 2 of them in the Mazda 787B and 1 in the Nissan R92 CP.
Yeah, the 787B is definitely a very popular choice for the Group 1 cars. And Sal, I gotta say, I saw your Camaro in the pits there for the lobby. And as a Ford guy, this is coming a lot from the Ford guy. That was a sick paint scheme on that thing.
Yeah, that's my Joker Series car. I've got I'll promote my own Joker Series that's going on tomorrow night. We've got 4 different cars that we're running at Road Atlanta. So I forgot to switch that car out to one of the PHG World Series cars, so I'll have to remember to do that after this race. So I can represent what we're here for, rather than subvertly advertising for my own league.
I want to say it's a good sign that there's 3 people in the lobby already. Good start.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to see 3 people.
I always love to hear that rotary engine just scream. Just listen to that 787B. Just, you can't say roar, it screams down the straightaways.
Kind of a cool paint scheme that Talon's got going on here.
Yeah, lots of retro vibes going on there. I like
Very
it.
colorful. The Truth Serum in traditional Sector 7 racing colors. Very nice. The red, white, and blue. PHG Arrow, who tends to rock the same kind of color scheme, that like kind of maroon and orange. I love it. I like this color scheme quite a bit. Papa in the chat saying he has a question for our guest commentator when he's ready. I think Papa, being the proprietor of Papa's House of Game, is allowed to ask questions whenever he wants.
I would agree.
Yeah. I'm ready whenever. I'm an open book. I'm just keeping my eye on this because I haven't seen a whole lot of practice yet myself for this one. I'm going to qualify at some point tonight.
Yeah, you're running the Group 1 car in this series, huh?
Yeah, I am. I wanted to kind of branch out a little bit. I thought it'd be fun to get some seat time in them. I've spent a lot of time in a GR3 car, so I wanted to improve my racecraft in a different level of cars.
Yeah, and the races definitely run different when you're in a Group 1 car because, and just like with Super Formula cars, because they're much more reliant on downforce and aerodynamic grip rather than mechanical grip when it comes to the Group 3 cars. So it's definitely a whole new set of disciplines you have to learn when you're running those kind of cars.
Absolutely, and I've found that I have to really think of it as a car. I get in my head that it's so much like it's almost, you know, it's just not a regular vehicle, and you have to feel it like a car and think about it. It's because it's going so fast, and just that concept is hard to.
Yeah, you have to. They mentioned it on the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast I was on a couple days ago. Was you gotta drive it fast to get it to work right. You have to drive it a certain way, especially with the high downforce cars. Regarding Papa's question, he says, "I am super curious. What is the nickname Crew Lob origin?"
The reverse last name.
Reverse last name.
Yep, couple hours. But yes, no, it started a long time ago actually with my uncle and my dad back when they were younger and I was a little kid. My dad was one of the first ones in the family to buy a video camera. And him and my uncle used to make videos all the time, recorded me as a little kid, and they always called it Crew Lob Productions. They took their last name, reversed it, and so that just kind of stuck over time. And throughout the years, it just kind of always comes back. And so I just adapted it with my number, and there it is. It's easy. It's a lot easier to say Crew Lob, I think, than trying to actually say my real name.
Yeah, I
tried
tried
those
a few
origin
times in my
stories.
head. I tried it a few times in my head, and I'm like,
It's always neat hearing where people's names come from. You know, some people got a good story. Others, like me, have really boring non-stories. But all right, so on track here, really quick, the Truth Serum with the 149.193. We only had one Group 1 qualifier yesterday, and the Truth Serum looks to have beaten that time. So currently, our provisional pole sitter in the Group 1 category, and drops another 7/10 off the time. 148.487 now, so the Truth Serum coming out strong here tonight.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lap.
Well, not real far behind, a 149.719. B. Paps yesterday put in a 149.208.
Yeah, this is a very tricky track to try to navigate, both on qualifying and in race. I mean, you just look at how narrow it is. It almost reminds me of the Nürburgring, because there's not a whole lot of plots to pass or move around the track to put yourself in an advantageous position going into the turns. And it gets especially tricky down in the downhill portion that the Truth Serum is coming up on after this sign here. This can really, kind of send you sideways if you aren't carefully navigating this sector.
Yeah, you have to come in fast, but you got to be prepared to get turning. And I think in this race, that's going to be the hardest part of the track to navigate throughout the race.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, really coming down the mountain is really all about the brakes more so than the throttle, right? I mean, you're trying to, you get on the brakes right after cresting that hill, and that's a spot where people can lose it pretty frequently. So you got to kind of dance around the brakes to get the car and kind of do not necessarily a controlled slide through those first couple of corners, but somewhat of a controlled slide.
Yeah, it's all about the weight transfer going down that hill, and trying to control it.
Yep, absolutely. And then even as you get into that last turn before the long straight, again, it kind of bottoms out, which gives you more grip than you would expect, but you need to manage it, because there are times where, when I've done practicing, where all of a sudden I end up with more grip than I was expecting, and I hit the inside wall, or I make the front tires slide and then I hit the outside wall. So it's really tricky, and it's such a long straight that you really want to try to carry speed through there as much as possible. But the tricky corner, this whole track is just tricky. I've never really been able to master it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the tougher tracks in Gran Turismo. I'm sorry, Crew Law, what were you going to say? It's error.
I was
No,
I was just gonna say in the 787 coming up, the hills and the elevation changes, the way the car understeers under power. You know, it's elevated here at this track compared to like running at Mamba.
Yeah, you know, you think about elevation changes, right? In racing, you know, different tracks have different elevation changes, and this has, in my opinion, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, elevation change in the game, because you're literally climbing a mountain and then coming back down a mountain.
Yeah, I mean, Laguna Seca has very much a hill climb and then the corkscrew. I think they say you end up dropping like, what is it, 5 stories or 6 stories worth of elevation change there. But I think Mount Panorama, to your point, Chuck, is even more so.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard what the elevation change is here, but it seems bigger.
Yeah.
You like this track, Chuck or Sal?
I do not.
I
The driver?
Yeah, me neither.
As a
I
driver,
do not.
this is not one of my favorites.
I don't. Once again, it just I always feel so constricted, right? Once again, going back to look at how narrow the track is. You don't have a whole lot of space to move around and try some different lines, and I don't know, just it does not feel good to me. So I'm not a fan of Bathurst, aka Mount Panorama.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, with it being so narrow and those walls right there, like you have no runoff. Like the smallest mistake is, you know, damage, and you know, then there's the whole you know, Austin Powers maneuver where if you lose it coming down the hill, you block the track and there's nowhere for anybody else to go. It's just a recipe for disaster all the way around. But you know, when you get a bunch of talented drivers out here that know what they're doing and don't make those big mistakes, it's really entertaining to watch. I just find it really hard to figure out myself.
Mm-hmm. As Robo down on the chat, he says, Panorama the wall slammer. Crash hurts, as Fernando Button calls it.
That sounds about right. Let's see, this is the final lap for these guys. Let's see if Talon or the Truth Serum can improve. Talon does improve marginally. And the Truth Serum down another quarter of a second to a 1:48.11.
That is a good lap.
That is almost a full second off of the qualifier we had yesterday. So, laying the gauntlet down right off the bat. And, I was just going to mention, we just got to wait for Wid to get in here. The guy who normally is at the top of the speed chart just posted in the chat. Says, nice, Truth. But the Truth Serum and Wid are both Sector 7 teammates, so of course they're going to cheer each other on. Frenemies in this league.
Indeed.
It looks like with Arrow sitting in the pits, we got to wait for the runoff to occur here. Well, with these 3 drivers, that's going to put us at 4 drivers have qualified for the GT1 class so far. Expect to have quite a few more throughout our 3-hour qualifying session tonight. Krulov here is going to be one of them. So let us know, sir, when you want to hit the track and shoot your shot.
Yeah, I will do that. I am driving the 787.
There you go. I like my Mazdas. You know, everybody knows I'm a Ford fanboy and a Porsche fanboy, but my favorite Japanese make, I think, has to be Mazda. So
there you go.
Yeah, I tested the other car because I'm a huge Nissan fan.
Mhm.
If I was driving, if I was in the GT3 class, I would be running the GTR for sure. Um, I'm just again, I do like this track, so
Fair enough. Krulov, do you want to take us through the first round of qualifying times?
sure can. First was S7R the Truth Serum with a 148.211 in the 787. Talon also in the 787 P2 with a 149.667. And then PHG Aero rounding out the qualifying in the R92 with a 151.855.
There we go. I'm kind of partial to the Nissan, the R92. I've always loved that car. Oh, that's right. Let me change my car. Let's go to, we'll represent one of the Group 1 cars I made a livery for. Not that I'm going to be on track, but at least that's what you get to look at.
Fair enough.
All right, we've got at least, looks like 3 more people queued up. NVR's
Yeah.
Hot Air in the Nissan, along with Jack Skellington, so 2 Nissans. And then PHG Stamps, we're just waiting for them to queue up. Unless they're a Group 3 driver, I don't recall.
Stamps, I believe he was running Group 3.
Okay, so he might be waiting for an open session without any Group 1 drivers.
See a
Krulov, what
fellow
does
teammate of mine.
yeah, what does NVR stand for? I guess I've never even known what it means.
New Velocity Racing.
New Velocity
Ah.
Racing.
Very interesting. I like it.
And who started NVR? Like, who's the proprietor?
NVR Bud.
Bud. I don't think we've seen NVR Bud. Why haven't you brought NVR Bud into the PHG?
He has participated in a few of the events. He's a little while ago. He was in a few of the events. Bud, I think but I know we have a strong NASCAR following on the other side too. So Bud's really involved with that, and then we kind of have a GT7 side as well. And the man on the track there, Hot Air, is actually how I got linked up with NVR.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and we definitely are the same way when it comes to various forms of motorsport. We do definitely have a NASCAR side. We even have a PHG fantasy league for NASCAR fantasy. So, and I'm dare I, brag a little bit. I am currently leading in points. I'm being caught up on by I think it was who was it, Johnny Boy, or I forget who it was. Somebody's closing the gap on me in the PHG NASCAR Fantasy League. But we definitely have a few different different forms of racing we all like to follow. So
yeah, for sure. And Bud, again, he definitely races GT7. He was just actually in the lobby with us the other night, running a GT1 with Air, myself, and Slow K was in there. Some of my other teammates, Saint, newer teammate, and then Mav. So yeah, Bud joins us, and I believe he's raced a little bit. So
I didn't realize Saint had joined NVR. That's pretty cool.
yeah, that just happened a couple weeks ago, right before the start of the season.
Now, was Saint somebody that you met through the PHG World Series, or had you guys gotten in touch with him outside of here?
No, it sure was. It was in this PHG World Series, and then I think I'm not sure if I was correct or not. I think Saint might have ran in NRL. But yeah, that's kind of how we got connected, just being together in lobbies and groups like this. And that's what's great about this. It's how we find other people to join us.
Go ahead.
No, that's
Yeah, I mean that's kind of been the name of the game, you know. I mean, once these leagues all started popping off, the community really grew, and it was nice seeing other teams show up and watching other teams grow as well as having our team grow and all this sort of stuff. It's been really cool to see.
yeah. And honestly, I have gotten better since really kind of joining on with a team group of guys that I can consistently talk to and count on having lobbies up to practice and leagues to race in. So before that, I was just kind of trying to run some dailies and race all the in-game stuff. I mean, I haven't played the game for I guess about 2 years now. It's going on. So.
All right, and to correct Johnny Boy, he's towards the bottom. It's actually Jimmy Beans who's nipping at my heels in our NASCAR Fantasy League. I am sitting at 3,441 points, and Jimmy Beans is sitting at 3,436. So we're going to be fighting it out across the rest of the season, I feel like.
And a quick shout out to Fernando. Thanks for being a member of the Salamander Racing YouTube channel for 6 months now. Appreciate that, Fernando. He says Joker. Again, advertising for the Joker series tomorrow. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being around. Jeffrey's saying in the chat, MVR also took part in Sector 7 racing last year with McNaughty. Pretty cool. I mean, I said frenemies earlier. I feel like that's really what the community is, I mean, there's been a number of teams that we see here, NVR, MMR, and stuff like that, I have a feeling when we see these guys in GTWS and in dailies, it's like, oh, I know those guys. I know how they race. I'm going to race with them and maybe even, bump draft, help out, more so than the randos and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool running across your friends, even when you're out in the wild, outside the leagues.
Johnny Boy's asking about the NASCAR race in San Diego this weekend. If anybody didn't know, this is a first in NASCAR history. They're running a road course on a naval base at Navy Base Coronado. So that's going to be very interesting. Unfortunately, I have to work this weekend, so I'll be watching what I can between some downtime at work. But that is going to be a very interesting race this weekend. I know that I'm sure any NASCAR fans down there in the chat will agree that it's almost a foregone conclusion anyway that SVG is going to win. I think AJ Allmendinger, who is the original road course ringer in NASCAR, is going to place well, as well as a few other road course aficionados in the series.
I was saying all the air can improve here. I do like the sound of the Nissan.
Absolutely. I kind of like it better than the 787. And I know people like the Screamer, but
I will fight you both.
Well, all of these leagues, that all of these drivers, a lot of these guys that race in this and those other ones, as Sector 7 racing on the NRL, and MVR is trying to get one going. That we know how each other race, and it really, to me, it's some of the best racing. So, and everybody and all of these teams have put on good leagues that you want to participate in. I look forward to this, so put in practice time in, because it's really like the best racing that I find on Gran Turismo. I don't touch the dailies because of it.
Yeah, I've kind of have dipped my toes back into the dailies occasionally myself, but there's a reason why I'm always reminded when I do. Like, this is why you don't do dailies anymore, Chuck, because of the racecraft and how people race in the dailies versus in the leagues, and it's marginally better in the Gran Turismo World Series events, the points events in game, but not by much. But we in these various leagues have our own stewarding systems and all of that, so we can make sure that good, clean driving and hard racing is enforced.
Yeah, it doesn't compare anywhere else the way this is all these leagues are run here within this community, and I say community because there's a group of teams and we see the same names. Because I race in a league on Sunday afternoon. It's an old guys league actually, 45 and up. But the whole Discord server is really kind of based. It's UK based. It's an afternoon race. And it's a completely different group of guys all together. It's just when you get into it like that, it's amazing how many drivers are out there, how many good drivers too, because it's a good league. It's just a different. It's not this community that we have here that we're watching tonight.
Right. Right. As hot air comes down the mountain and screams into the long straightaway. In the few places on this track that you have a little bit of breathing room, and before you know it, it's choked up and gone, and you got this right-hander coming up, followed by the left-hander.
I'm surprised to see him that coming down the hill, he barely getting to the top speed of the car. And I mean, you were able to get to the top speed of that car at Monza too. I feel like that downhill back straight seemed like he get up to speed a little bit quicker.
Indeed. You got Jack. Oh no, air going off a little bit there. Possibly trying to avoid Jack Skellington coming out of the pits. Then again, it could also be tire wear. Jack Skellington with a nice new set of racing softs, fresh tires. Climbs up the mountain. Keeps climbing up. Maybe a little bit of a wall kiss there. Once again, still cold tires. Comes around to the top of the mountain into the flat-ish section. One of the trickier sections of this track, other than the downhill, is this sector, right here and leading up to it. Dices down the hill here on this out lap. Trying to get the tires nice and warm so that he can set a good qualification lap and down the straightaway. And up into the end of this straightaway into the right-hander, followed by a quick left. He's going to be coming across the line to start his next hot lap.
Hey,
Jack's a good friend of mine.
Actually, out of time right now. So.
I was gonna say I was counting and looking at the time. I didn't think he was gonna get a lap. He was on an out lap. Yeah. And I think that little bobble for air messed up his final lap attempt.
Oh, yeah. All right. So in first, the best qualifier this round is New Velocity Racing, you said it was?
Yes.
New Velocity Racing's Hot Air in the Nissan with a 149.662. And Jack Skellington in the Nissan once again with a 153.798.
There we go. I'm trying to troubleshoot behind the scenes here. It looks like the ticker is not updating, and I'm not sure why. Looks like everything behind the scenes is working, other than it's not updating it on my machine. So let me see if I can go update some of that manually here to at least get us.
Yeah, I noticed last night on the stream, at one point it still had last week's split times running across it. That is fixed.
And y'all can see on the screen, we're going to have a GT3 session now, a Group 3 car session. These are production-based cars, a la IMSA and WEC GT3 cars, known as Group 3 in Gran Turismo 7.
There we go. Manually updated that, which will need to be updated again once that gets saved. But I may be doing that throughout the night here.
Fair enough. Looks like so far we've got Kay Naranjo in the GTR Nismo GT3. Same with Drosky, and same with PHG Stamps.
Is Drosky a new name? Drosky?
I think I recognize the name. I think I've seen them around.
Well, welcome again. I haven't seen his name recently, but any idea on the split difference? It seems to be GTR kind of been the choice after last night. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the different splits or anything like that. Unfortunately, it seems to be a Nissan fest up here. That seems to be the car to pick.
We started off with a bunch of Mazdas, but
oh yeah, that's true.
Qualifying's underway, actually. Trying to manually update these files. I wish I could figure out why it's not streaming the files down like it's supposed to. It's weird. Might be time to reboot the computer, which I can't do with things. Anyway, let's take a look at these liveries here. So we got Oak is MMR livery Nissan. Stamps, newly acquired PHG stamps.
I like the front of his hood there. The front of his hood driving scares me too.
Drosky. The very clean livery there.
I think that, well, looking at the back window, that's definitely a South Park reference. If anybody remembers the South Park NASCAR episode, I know I sure do.
Always a fan of the red, black, white paint schemes. Kind of my tendency to go to when making my own liveries, or of course having one of my teammates do it in Croatian. He does a great job, and I know he does some stuff with you guys, so there's another one I didn't mention earlier that's been a good guy to race with for sure. Learned a lot.
Yeah, I've talked Croatian quite a bit. Him doing a lot of the graphics and stuff for us. In fact, the ticker that we have running across the top was designed by Croatian. So talented designer. Always enjoy chatting with him.
Yeah, and I really connected with him there at the Sector 7 series last year.
Cool.
And had 3 classes, so. Yeah, MER's been a lot of fun. They do have a league coming up, World Multi Challenge, that Maverick is gathering and working on, MER Maverick. So that should be exciting. There's gonna be like 4 different events with it, and really a fun league. You know, not as serious as like what's going on here. You know, in a way, definitely a fun league, but same clean driving as expected, and you know, same level of driving. So it should be a lot of fun.
We look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, still looking for more details on that, but it's getting close. So there's.
Do they have a start date on that?
I'll get to the details. No official start date yet that I am aware of. I'm double checking right now.
Yeah, and I was also going to ask where people find out.
Yeah, yeah, we do have a Discord that we can get you linked up for if we need to, and you can just reach out to me or MER Maverick. Easiest way to do that.
Yeah, definitely post that in the PHG Discord. I'm sure there'd be a number of drivers that may want to get, who love doing league racing more so than the daily stuff, and may want to get involved in that. Would love to help you guys grow.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple different nights for it too. So there's going to be like a multi-car race, which is scheduled for Sunday nights. That's a World Multi Challenge. And then there's also a series which they're looking to do on Saturday nights called the Dunlop Challenge. And that's going to be GR4s, set carless, like the bigger engine FR cars, Jag, Mercedes, Corvette, Mustang, Viper, Aston Martin, Lexus.
Mustang, you say?
Yeah, Mustang. Yep. So that'll be the choice there. Looking to have like 2 driver teams for that, running the same car. You'll have that one will be fun. Then there's an actual Mazda MX-5 challenge, which would be scheduled Friday nights. We'll go backwards here. That'll be run in the Mazda Miata NR22. So those are always fun to drive too. I just actually had a race Tuesday night in the Miatas at Trial Mountain. We were using the Roadster touring car.
Cool.
And one more they added on, and this is Crow and Slow kind of got us going in this route, but that Twingo that came out, so we're gonna do a little Twingo Cup.
Oh boy.
But you can modify
full of meme races.
Well, and you know, talking about the Twingo, it's almost like you can tell it's almost like the Honda Civic of Europe, right? Because apparently that's its own very niche market of doing a whole lot of, you know, really wild and crazy aftermarket modifications. You know, we might laugh about it on this side of the pond, but I don't know if there's anybody from Europe down in the chat that can confirm or deny this, but I have heard the Twingo is a very popular tuner car in Europe. Oh, Stamp's getting a bit sideways coming up the hill. Very easy to do.
And that Twingo looks so unthreatening, you know? But I would
Yeah,
imagine
right?
people put some mods on it.
Yeah, I don't know if they're listening tonight. I don't have it, but they swapped an engine in it. I'm not sure what engine they put in it, but it made it a little rocket for sure.
The
It's almost like how
Cappuccino was
you
always
can,
really fun with the engine swap.
yeah, and it's almost like how on the Willys Jeep you can put a Hellcat engine in it.
Yeah, I think my son's done that. He loves driving the Jeep around at 180 miles an hour. Just doesn't seem right.
I still need to do it. In my head, I have some kind of like a wicked paint scheme for a Hellcat swapped Willys Jeep. You know, something, you know, along the lines of like a skull with an army helmet on, and everything's like flames and on fire and all that. And one of these days, I'll have to see if I can take the time outside of time trials and race practice to build the paint scheme. But it's just something I've had in my head for a while.
Oak on an outlap right now. Stamps.
Going
Broski's
past
still
Broski
out.
there.
Broski had that last lap was not good. 6:15.
Down to the last minute.
Yep,
Probably
this
their
is probably
last
going to be their last lap around. Stamps just doing the just stay in a rhythm strategy as opposed to the come in and pit and swap out the tires. On his 5th lap.
Looks like the GT1 group gets one more lap than the GT3 in time.
Look at how much track Stamps is using. I've seen him and a few other guys up at the top of the mountain there, like just
really wide,
like inches from the wall, even millimeters maybe. That's crazy. And once again, goes to show how I was talking earlier about how narrow this track is.
Yeah, the margin for error is really small.
Oh, put down a 203. That's a very good lap. We saw what Jorge did, but
about a second off of Jorge. That seems like par for the course. But I know Oak is plenty fast, and now that he's out on fresh tires with lower fuel, it's entirely possible he could bring that down into the 202 range. Let's see how he wraps it up here. Stamps come to the line, though, finishing up his last lap. Not going to be an improvement. Here comes Oak to the line. Also not able to improve. Broski, nope, nobody able to pull out a last second improvement there.
Improvement.
There we go. So 3 drivers. We got Oak topping the speed chart here for this session with a 203.221. PHG Stamps with a 205.072, and Droski with a 205.596. All 3 drivers choosing the GTR Nismo GT3 from 2018. Very nice. All right, I'll wait.
He's saying he had way too much downforce. Yeah, downforce is good, but you know, only in the right amount. Otherwise, you'll start sacrificing top speed.
It definitely will do that, but I wonder if that's just his exit, because if I'm correct, I don't believe we can adjust downforce.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. This is all fixed settings, balance of performance on, and all that. I think the only thing they can change is the brake balance. Am I right, Sal?
Correct.
Right. And as we all know, that brake bias setting, it can make a whole lot of difference based on your driving style and how you navigate the turns.
Yeah, definitely can.
It's one of the things with the next round of the Nations Cup, which is Formula One style cars at Laguna Seca. In that one turn after that first U-shaped turn that I've been, it's really awkward. And towards the end of my practice session today, I kind of started learning it's how you brake to turn the car through that really awkward turn. And it really helps if you have brake bias set to the rear to help you do that, you know, steering it with the brakes.
All right, looks like we got 4 more drivers queued up here. Looks like a couple of
more
NBR drivers with Jeffrey and Saint, and then Felmora and Fernando Button. 2 Mazdas, 2 Nissans.
Let's go, Team Mazda.
These guys get a couple minutes of practice in before Shaggy fires it off.
We were mixed in our group what cars we wanted to choose. Everybody kind of went, I think we had about a 50-50 split on the Nissan versus 787 in this round. But to each his own, right?
Right. It's kind of a matter of driving style and just whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, looks like we're going to get underway here. Fernando Button going to be the first one out of the pits. Take a look at these liveries once they get on track.
Fernando's another one that's dealing with the storms, I believe, along with myself and you too, Chuck. So hopefully,
yeah,
he hangs around.
I've heard a brief rain shower come by. We've still got some more inbound, but I'm sure that we will maintain. So we've got the standard 787B paint scheme there, as well as for the Nissan, as they say, across the pond in England. And NBR standard colors. A little bit of gold in there, very nice. Do you like that?
It looks like these top 3 drivers are all pretty bunched up. Get these guys to spread out a bit. Remember, Slipstream is not on for pre-qualifying sessions, so getting spread out would be a good idea.
Fernando, very cool Sunoco paint scheme. I always try to fill up that either Sunoco or Shell. You know, trying to take care of my engine with all the different detergents in the gas and all that. And from what I have been able to tell from my research, Sunoco and Shell look like they're the 2 best there.
There we go. Fernando pulling over for Felmora there. There's some good driver awareness, you know, knowing when it's like, okay, yeah, this driver's always in a split or 2 higher than me. They should probably be leading the way. I mean, nothing says Fernando can't improve, keep up with him, but it's good to understand the historical context.
Felmora had a good race last week. So he's definitely a fast driver, Felmora.
Absolutely.
And to your point, Sal, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, he finished 3rd or 4th last week, I think, behind Jeffrey.
And to your point, Sal, the, talking about different splits and all that stuff. That's what's great about something like this is seat time and practice and repetition can get you a long way. So you might be in, split 3 or split 4, but with enough practice and just repetition and learning how various cars handle and what marks to hit on various tracks, you too can also be up in the top splits of league racing like this.
Yeah, I mean, I can attest to that. I mean, having run in NRL in the past and IRO certainly elevated my game as far as my skill set and how well I did practicing with some of those guys that are, up near the top. And, everybody seems willing to share information and to help each other out. Krulov, have you guys, over at NVR kind of seen the same thing, having participated in both PHG World Series, NRL, IRO? Have you guys seen your drivers kind of leveling up their skill set as well, running in these different leagues?
Oh, absolutely. I think you learn more for sure racing in these leagues, these events, with the good drivers than you do on the dailies. And yeah, Saint, for example, is one of the guys right now that's just getting better every day. Slow K as well. And I've seen it, and I know they probably practice a little bit more than me. Saint's right there on the track now. And Slow K with the GT that S7R and under the IRO name, the moniker, whatever, Discord.
Jeffrey got a little sideways there.
A little too much grass there.
Yeah, Slow K practices a ton for that. I mean, I've seen his lap times just at Le Mans, which is the next race coming up. He's down under 4 minutes now, just by practicing with a lot of these other teams in those events to get better. So everybody's helping everybody, even though we're on different team. We have our representation and whatnot, but that doesn't really matter. It's all for fun.
Yeah, it's been nice seeing the MVR guys. You guys have been really good about posting in the PHG Discord when you're going to run a practice race and inviting people to come out. MMR has been really good about that too. So it's always fun, getting in with the other teams and kind of, even if you're not sharing all the information, still kind of getting a little bit of a handle on where people are at. Maybe picking up on some things, just observing, what's going on the track.
Yeah, and I think track practice too in race setting is more beneficial than just running lap after lap after lap. That can kind of get a little numbing. I have a hard time doing that. So I just race in a bunch of different leagues. I know, in order to put down a good qualifying lap, like Felmore's purple there. What is that? 49.
Yeah, got it under a 150.
49. Yep, he did.
Yeah, and let's look at Felmora when he comes down the big long straight. I'm been sitting down there looking at the top speeds. Once again, that spicy Dorito, it's putting him up over 200 miles an hour down the long straightaway at the bottom of the mountain. Just wild, insane speed. That's faster than NASCAR in most senses.
I mean, there's such a long, backstretch here. It gets similar to, when these guys run at Le Mans with those long straights.
Mm-hmm.
Get the cars up to max speed. It's like he's down almost a whole second right now here, depending on how quickly he gets back into the pits. Might be able to pit and still get one more hot lap. We'll have to see how that shakes out.
Here he goes, coming around to the straightaway as we look back at Fernando Button climbing down the mountain in that very nice retro-looking Sunoco paint scheme.
Might be a tall order for Fernando to be able to pit and still get an out lap plus a hot lap out there. But Felmora might be able to do it. Let's see if Felmora hits the pits. Looks like they are.
Mm-hmm.
They've got under 30 seconds to get out, though. gonna be tight. Although they do exit the pits ahead of the start-finish line, so actually, if
Yeah, they do.
about a minute 50, I think he'll need to be able to make it. Oh boy, this is gonna be close.
It's gonna be very close.
Well, already out. 2 minutes to go. Yeah, I think he's good.
No,
Jeffrey and Saint
these guys
finishing
behind
there.
him though have to
Oh,
stay
laps.
out. Yeah. They're not ready.
Fernando went in, but he's not going to be able to put another hot lap out there.
And up the hill is Fernando Button.
Yeah, see, the problem is Fernando's not going to get another hot lap, and now is just ahead of Saint. Hopefully is not going to hold Saint up. It looks like, unfortunately,
Saint's
he
all
is.
over the bumper. He says, move over, bud.
Right. Like, Fernando's just taking up space out here. Oh, that's got to be so frustrating for Saint.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Fernando is off.
Not sure if Saint just got him out of the way or if Fernando just kind of went to the menu to get out.
Insert
Unfortunately, that may have,
ludicrous song here.
May have destroyed Saint's hot lap.
Yeah, that's so frustrating. I can speak from experiences. Being stuck behind slow people or people rejoining after they, go off track. It's so frustrating to ruin your hot lap. But, racing is a very emotionally taxing sport. So I guess that just kind of comes with the territory. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I do. I know Saint's not gonna be happy with the time of 153. Well, he got it down. Well, but I know he's got more pace than that on this track. So, but yeah.
Jeffrey also got it down to a 49.6. And Shaggy's saying in the track he's going to give Saint another go at it. Seems how he got held up by something not his fault. So it's fair play there, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Is a fair way to do it without handling tickets or anything. I don't think anybody minds. Speaking for the community, but
Jeffrey saying he was able to run a 48.6 earlier in practice. A whole nother second off.
unfortunate, but
And I don't think Jeffrey was held up by the other cars. They have just not had a good session, which happens. Panorama is still finishing up their lap. Wasn't quite done yet.
Well, that grass did look like it needed a little bit mowing, so.
It's like was trying to go full send at the end there. That will wrap up that qualifying session. So we have Jeffrey GT97YT with the 149.661. Felmora joining the sub 150 club with the 149.987. And VR Saint with the 151.941. And Fernando Button with the 154.906. All right, let's wait to see these things get updated, and I'll see if I can update them myself. All right, so Saint going to get to go again. Raider also in the Mazda 787.
Now we're gonna have to keep a real close eye on him because we all know Raider cheats.
Yep. Got to watch for him pulling a rabbit out of a hat. It's funny that he feels the need to cheat because he's fast, even without cheating. Or maybe he's fast because he cheats. I guess I don't know. The world.
Yeah, he's got the Game Genie plugged into the PlayStation. He figured out some kind of way to hack his way in.
All right, let's get these things updated. So now we've got 10 drivers. And the leader.
Didn't get it. I did not get to practice much this week for this one. So.
Oh, whoops! I think there might have been a fat finger in the document. It's showing Fernando as the Group 1 leader, and I know that's not right.
We have another session going.
I'll wait for them to get that corrected before we get stuff updated. Here we go. We got Raider out on the track. This is M&M liveried Mazda 787.
Very nice, clean livery as he climbs the mountain here, trying to get the tires nice and warm. A little dab of brakes coming up there. Sometimes you got to use them brakes to steer. Breasting the hill and across the top of the mountain. Coming into the very, very tricky but crucial downhill portion. Dances his way through there. Very nice. Nice and easy. That last turn onto the long straightaway here. Let's keep a camera on him and look at the top speed you get in these Group 1 cars. Once again, 200 plus miles an hour. They're doing it right. He's riding it out in fourth gear though, trying to, oh, no, there he goes, over 200 miles an hour. Probably trying to ride out that little bit so he can burn some gas off. A little bit less fuel, less weight in the car means a faster lap time. And then coming around for the final turn, to start his hot lap. Saints way behind, about to do the same.
Shout out to T-Case, celebrating 10 months of membership at the Saturday Racing channel. Thank you, T-Case, for being around. He says PHGWS with multiple exclamation points. Thank you.
Indeed, indeed. What's up, T-Case? Good friend of yours and mine, Sal, fellow commentator for the PHG World Series.
Absolutely.
Yeah, T-Case. Like watching T-Case broadcast. Another one of you guys that does a good job. Yeah, see how close the Raiders get to that wall there.
And once again, this is a track where you really got to use every inch of the track that you can, but you got to be very cautious because you use too much of it, then you're going to end up in those walls.
This is one of the. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sal.
Just saying, just got the ticker updated, so we now have our split one cutoff time. Looks like just under a 150, 150.987. The drivers are trying to beat to make it into split one. The Truth Serum still leading all drivers with 148.211. Raider looks like he's got himself provisionally in the top split with the 149.761. A nice time. Saint coming to the line.
That's a.
The 51.505.
That was his best lap the last one. So it's a good sign. Giving each other some space on the track for sure this time. And yeah, Raider, that's a good first lap to put down. You know, get one under your belt.
Absolutely. Gets to the top of the mountain, goes a bit wide there. Over into the grass. Check that out from chase cam here. Looks like as he tries to carry as much speed as possible around this corner, front end just washes out. Keeps control of the car though.
Yeah, he did a good job there. You can definitely do that coming around that corner if you just hit that. If you're not tucked in there right and you just get that little wave on it, it'll slide you out real quick to the curb area.
He is 1.1 seconds off of his best time. So that mistake cost him quite a bit. Let's see if Saint is on an improved lap or not as we approach the time check. Is down or is up by 7/10.
Almost a full second. There you go.
Raider gonna get off those tires, put on some fresh rubber. See if Saint does the same thing. Look, Saint's gonna go around again.
Yeah, that's really hard to do when you're coming down and you're up by that much. To call a pit, you're like, oh, I gotta take it.
Go, Saint improved
Hey,
by
go
7/10
again.
there. Now ahead of Raider. Raider has plenty of time to get two more laps in. Possibly two more hot laps. Saint could potentially come in for a pit, and I think get around.
Get one.
Get one hot lap. It will be very close. Just make sure not to make any big mistakes on this this lap here. Of course, if it's an improvement, may just want to bank it. We'll see as they approach the time check at the top of the hill or top of the mountain. They're down by 3/10, so might go for the Hail Mary, come in for a new set of rubber.
Down onto the backstretch, a long straightaway. Let's see if they can crest 200 miles an hour. 180, 190. Oh, just
Hey, there it is. Yeah.
right about
Yep.
200.
202. Raider here, 203.
Speed! 4 miles an hour, officer.
And Saint just gonna bank it. Go for might be able to get two more in. Got the tires a little bit worn, but you know, if they feel like they're getting into a rhythm. Raider just finished their out lap, so now both drivers are on hot laps. Over 2 minutes to go. So that means they should be able to get around and then be able to get around again during the overtime.
Yeah, I think that was a good call on Saint's part not to come in, because if you looked at where the timer was, I don't think he would have got into the pits and got out and able to get around.
Yeah, that would have been very, very close. It may not have paid off.
So, like you said, he might get 2 now at least, no matter what, instead of 9.
Oh no, looks like you got into the wall a little bit there.
Yeah.
Where he's at the time check
Look.
here.
Ooh,
Ooh, he has
got him some
down.
damage.
Yep, not net code. I was about to say, is that net code or was that into the wall? And definitely
Raider also with some
off the wall.
damage. So it looks like they both had a mistake on this this hot lap here. But they both, that will heal, and they should have one more attempt. .7 down, Raider 8/10 down. Plenty of time to go.
Yeah, time to spare. No. Getting a little bunched up again. I think he'll be alright.
They still got a few seconds between them.
Yeah.
So we're coming around the front stretch, getting ready to climb the mountain here. Raider sitting on a 149.761 and New Velocity Racing's Saint sitting on a 157.16.
I'm gonna mute these gentlemen real quick.
You got to deal with the dog.
I gotta deal with the dog for a second.
Oh, looks like Saint touched the wall again. Looks like he's just going to let Raider go. Raider was purple after that first sector, which the first sector's only one corner. But see where he's at as he crests the top of the mountain. Unfortunate for Saint, just wasn't able to put it together. Oh, Raider up just barely. Just shy of 400ths. But an improvement nonetheless. Very close to the wall. Coming around trying to get all the exit speed. We'll get one more time check before we get to the end. Up by 4 1,000, so lost just a little bit coming down the hill. Let's see, one more corner to go. Well, there we go, improved by 2/10.
Yeah. There you go.
So, definite improvement in that final sector there. So there we go. PHG Raider solidly in split 1 territory with a 149.553, and NBR Saint with a second attempt here with a 150.716. I don't recall what his time was in the last one. Was that an improvement?
I don't recall either. I would assume so because he didn't have traffic. So
Yeah, it was an improvement. It was, I think, second maybe.
There we go.
No, I know he was in the 151. So.
Well, there we go. All right, looks like we got Leo in here along with Sector 7's WID for the next session.
I was in a practice with him. I know what Wid could do here. So let's see. Should be Leo as well.
Leo with his traditional tool livery.
Mm-hmm. He's again a fellow Mazda fan, as is Leo. Let us know down in the chat for future seasons of the PHG World Series, what would you be interested in seeing? What would be some good combos that you think would be a good fit for this league?
And speaking of all you guys out in YouTube land, if you're here watching, you're enjoying what you're seeing, please remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons. They help out the channel a lot. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, Sal, you're the new venture. What is it? Is it called Upshift?
Yeah, Upshift Media Studios. It's there's a set of 6 of us putting that together, where we will be doing broadcasting for non-PHG leagues out there. The first one we're going to be doing the broadcast for is the upcoming VIP Racing League, which will be starting as soon as the PHG World Series wraps up. So we're really excited to put on the show for those guys. I've been having a lot of meetings with Left to Pass You to iron out all the details. It looks like it's going to be a well put together broadcast. Left to Pass You is a talented graphic artist as well, so he's actually doing all the graphics on his own. We're just assembling them all and bringing our knowledge of OBS and all that to the forefront. Yeah, Wid getting all sorts of.
Did he catch that? Did he catch that grass?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Take a look at that again. Comes around, did what Raider did, got off of the grass, but was not quite able to save it.
It's so easy to do right there. You know, you take that turn too hot, and you just end up getting too wide and go lawn mowing, go landscaping, and before you know it, your lap is toast.
Yeah, he went really tight on the inside of that turn, and
yeah, it looked like he actually hit the inside wall.
Yeah, either that or that curb on the inside really kind of unsettled it at the end too, and that was a car to.
Oh, Shaggy's saying in the chat that Season 5 is going to be a GT3 manufacturer series. The community will have most tracks available in the game to vote on. The PHG World Series is for the community, by the community, so looks like we're going to a manufacturer series. That was very popular in Season 3. Duke saying that just pissed Wid off, so now he's going to drop a crazy time, which would be par for the course as far as Wid goes.
Yeah, I was watching him. I was just riding in car and whatnot, trying to figure out, just follow the line. And, I'm like, okay, I do the same thing. I feel like I'm driving in the car, I'm in the same gearing, I'm going around kind of the same line. There's just a different nature. Like, I don't hit the gas soon enough. I put the power down. I don't, I'm braking a little bit too early, but I am one that I like to go slow in corners and out fast. But I think sometimes I get a little too careless with that and too early braking. So
Wid had a bit of a wiggle there coming out of that corner.
Yeah, Krulov, I'm kind of the same way in certain aspects. Is I'm a little bit too mechanical in my racecraft, instead of trying to kind of go with the flow and learn what I can do to be faster in the corners. I tend to rely too much on, okay, you do this here and you do this here, versus, kind of living in the moment and adapting as the car changes and the track changes. Does that make any sense?
It's a new leader.
Yeah, that 47.793, drops the fastest time we've seen so far on his first hot lap. Way to go, Wid.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying, Chuck, too. Yeah, about being technical, and then you, instead of just driving, just drive and feel it. You start. Oh, there's my braking point.
Yeah, I've been working on that myself over some time and all that, and just trying to be in the moment, I guess you can say.
Yeah. But when you watch
Well,
with,
fun is anyway.
that's
when you're in the
a
moment.
good lap. Yeah. Watch how close he gets to that wall there. When you watch, he just certain little the technical thing, the technical part of driving, the braking and the gas and throttle control. Just it's so he's so good at it.
Oh yeah. Towards the long back stretch here, really get to open the taps, let the cars stretch their legs, show you the power that they're able to put down.
And he wants to go faster.
I want to go fast. Now, who do you guys think has the advantage on that backstretch regarding top speed, the Nissan or the Mazda?
Not everybody at once. I'll go. I think looks like the Mazda's had a little bit of advantage.
Yeah.
Right at the end. I think it's hitting a higher top speed right there at the very end, but not.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. I think I've seen the Mazdas readily hit 203, and sometimes 1 or 2 mile an hour is all you need, right? But
I think it will. I think it will go probably a little bit faster. I mean, it's all going to be dependent on coming out of that last turn. Before you run out of room on the back straight.
Yeah, I think they're pretty even, but I do believe you have to give the slight edge to the 787B. I do think the R92 might be a little bit better in the corners, but don't quote me on that.
Jeffrey GT97 down in the chat says he can hit 206 with the Mazda. Very impressive, sir.
Well, I wonder if that is with slipstream on. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Well, we'll watch, see what Wid does here. Wid looks like he's up 1.8 tenths, hits 203. I think I might have saw 204 there for a split second. That may be about the limit without slipstream. Down another 3 tenths to a 47.65. He quits back to the pits. Is going to try one more hot lap with a full tank of fuel. See if he can do full send.
It's an interesting tactic there.
Well, he wouldn't have had time to get into the pits, so at least this way he has fresh tires, but he has full fuel. So.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. Every lap went down. Through that first 4 laps he did, so he improved every time.
Yeah, he may feel that he's in the groove now and just wants to do it with the fresh set on.
I will tell you, as we were talking about the top speed and whether the cornering or not, I can just tell you that these two cars feel completely different. When you drive them, just they're very different from each other. So, I attempted the Nissan at both Monza and here, but I couldn't get the feel of that. That's why I decided to stick with the 787.
That's fair.
But they definitely do feel the Nissan feels like a heavier car, a little more solid. The 787 is definitely a little bit looser.
Sure. Yeah, I think back in the day when these ran, the 787 was very much a throw caution to the wind. The car really punished the driver, so to speak. I think that Nissan was a little more planted, a little more gentlemanly, I think is maybe the word to use, but still a bit of a beast. I mean, you listen to it and it's got a totally different sound. Yes, very much a different driving dynamic, but still fast.
Oh yeah, I'd agree that that car it will stay planted, but still be very, very fast. Because loose is fast, but too loose, too fast is not a good thing.
It's down almost another tenth again.
Yeah, actually, now that he's gotten this extra hot lap here by taking that reset to the pits, it might be smart. It's showing it right now.
We'll have one more time check here. He's quickly approaching. The slightest of improvements. 5 1,000s. Watch him hang it out. That car is twitching all over the place. He is really driving this on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the final corner to the start-finish line.
The speed he carried through that last turn.
77 1,000ths improvement down to a 147 188.
Yeah.
And that's over a second.
Fernando down in the chat. Fernando down in the chat saying that there's major tornadoes in the same area he's at. So
You stay safe, buddy. Find a safe space and button down and make sure you're being safe for you and your family. And we will catch you back hopefully in future events. Be safe, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't seen anything here where I'm at. I know we're somewhere in the same vicinity.
Yeah, it's still inbound for us. It's supposed to, I think it was supposed to start around 11 o'clock-ish my time. Still just keeping an eye on it and occasionally checking the weather and making sure I don't get caught with my pants down, as it were.
So did Leo get a time or?
No, Leo aborted
Yeah,
this
he
one.
just-
Yeah, he had said in
Okay.
the chat his headphones fell apart on him, so he
Oh,
quit to the
gotcha,
pits and
okay.
was just going to run a different one.
I know we were just sitting there watching Wid, put down a faster time after faster time, and I kind of forgot about Leo's sitting there.
and TS BAP.
I understood that reference. I think maybe he had some training with the Delta Flyer. If you know, you know. Trekkies unite!
I see the chat here. There we go. I didn't have the chat up here. See it now. Yeah. Give a shout out to TSBAT E-Races. I actually run my own league now, kind of on Wednesday nights as well. It's called UFO Racing League. It's actually it's a league that's just kind of passed down that I've kept going now for the past couple seasons. This will be season 15 actually. But it started a while back. Another gentleman, he was the alien at the time, and Idol. And he started it and got some guys racing, and then it got passed on to a former commissioner. I name Ivar, good guy, good racing guy, but since moved over to a lot of that LMU racing. So I just kind of inherited it. But yeah, Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock Central Time. Had 2 lobbies. One season we had 3 lobbies. Again, just kind of a fun league, something to do on Wednesday nights if you're looking for good, clean racing. Tease Bap races with us, Cornbread, Flo, Crow when he was racing. Had some guys from Victory Performance or VPR, Victory Pace Racing, War, is another guy. So yeah, good time. That's another one I can send you information about. Looking for, you're welcome to join. Come over and race. I haven't really posted that one too much, just because it's I don't know. I guess we kind of had a small group, but I want to expand it. I want to have a good Wednesday night place to race for those that don't have anything else going on. So, and,
Fair enough.
A lot of the guys race for a long time. Like I said, it's been 15 seasons. But seasons were only 6 races, and they were run pretty much back to back to back. But it's been around for a couple of years. So.
Indeed, and Johnny Boy down in the chat says not to expect much from him, and that the learning curve is brutal. And I can agree. The track looks simple, but it's really not. Once again, I harken back to how narrow it is and how little runoff there is, and how, yes, you need to use all of the track, but if you use too much of the track in this particular setup, it will punish you.
Some nice looking cars out there.
You have to take the right line.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we get to the actual, when we bring the GT3s onto the track, that's we're gonna see what really happens then. Yeah, you expect them to race the correct line on the track, and we know, like you said, how narrow it is. You're just gonna have to be patient and just sit there.
We're really going to find out just how patient these Group 1 drivers can be. I mean, at the same time, we thought that at Road Atlanta, and it really wasn't as big of an issue as we predicted. But I suspect Bathurst will be even more so.
Gonna be riding a train down the mountain there.
Exactly. Well, both up the mountain and down the mountain is usually.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost half half your lap time.
Yeah.
Half the track is sort of follow the leader. I mean, there is, a couple short passing spots that normally wouldn't be if you're in the same class car, but with multi-class, you could probably get a pass done in a couple of these places, like this little short chute here that fluxes on.
Yeah, right there.
Yep, and then it's going to be follow the leader up until you get past this fast right-hander up here. So right there, now there's possibly a little passing zone here. Maybe.
Maybe.
And then once you get past, yep, right here you've got one.
Right, yeah.
Very quickly.
And we know how dangerous that section of the track already is.
Right.
And if you're going to be trying to pass there, put 2 cars there.
But then here is very much follow the leader till you get to that bottom corner right here, and then preferred, that's the word I'm looking for. Words are hard. Preferred passing zone is on the long straight.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to take some. I mean, you don't want to take too many risks, but you might have to take an opportunity if you see it to make a pass, like you said, even in those shorter zones, because unless nobody does it, and you have to be prepared.
Yeah, it's really managing that risk.
Can't wait till that. Yeah, you can't wait till that back stretch by the pits or going up the hill the entire time. there's going to be.
Flux with a 48.9. A pretty solid time. It was a 48.2 was our previous leader, so that is not far off. From there, the split one cutoff time is still in the 49,
Yeah.
so that puts Flux
Yeah.
solidly into split one. Now we've had 12 drivers qualify so far. We got 5 in this one. That puts us at 17 Group 1 drivers. We are only halfway through the Group 1 qualifying today, so it appears that the Group 1 class may be more popular than the Group 3 class for this particular round.
That might not actually make sense at how a lot of these turns are set up. You know, with the Group 3 cars, you got to brake a lot, earlier and be very careful on how you take things. Not to say you don't have to do that in the Group 1 cars, but I feel like this track really lends itself to, being easier to drive under Group 1 car, high downforce car conditions. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's certainly the case. I think additionally, I don't know that we've ever seen this combo, like in the dailies or even in GTWS that I can remember. I mean, but Mount Panorama does come up in the dailies fairly frequently, but it always seems to be Group 3 and Group 4.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time I've raced a car like this here, so new to me.
Mordor with a big improvement. 7/10 off of his time, to 150.4. Leo with an improvement of about 1/4 of a second.
Shaggy down there in the chat says Spa will be a nice, relaxing 90-minute drive. Then it rains. Twice. Shaggy, why do you hate us so much?
Old Man Pip took 2.7 seconds off to get down to a 150.3. Drastic improvement by Old Man Pip.
Yeah, good job.
Comes Johnny Boy to the line. This is looking to be a fairly significant improvement as well. Almost a full second off to a 51.895.
Oh,
no.
And spins it coming out of turn 1.
Curse.
Corridor comes out of the pits. I wonder if Johnny Boy had a disconnect of some sort, because he just hung out in the grass there for a while. Here, there he's waiting for Corridor to get by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Cars don't move very well in the grass.
some kind of a disconnect, equipment failure, steering rack failure, or whatever you want to call it, between the sim to reality explanations. But unfortunately, it does happen from time to time, even for us sim racers.
So Flux is going to bring it in. May have crossed the line there heading into pit road. I mean, I think they've got plenty of time, even if he gets tagged with a 3-second pen, probably isn't going to change anything. Leo looking to go around again.
Leo didn't pit, did he?
Nope. It did
Did he
improve by
pit early?
2/10, so wanted to bank that. Should get 2 more hot laps in. Flux coming out of the pits now. Flux did not get hit with a pit road penalty, which is good to see. The Old Man Pip improved by about 2/10 on their lap. Johnny Boy is down. Oh yeah, because he's spun. Let's see. So Flux on an out lap. Old Man Pip still on a hot lap. Corridor just starting their hot lap, and Leo on a hot lap.
Coming down the hill here. Gotta be real careful, especially in this last turn, to not send it sideways because it's so easy to get too much speed or whatever and hit that outside wall coming into the backstretch here.
Well, and there's kind of an invisible wall in my mind there too, a little bit, kind of like you have at Daytona. Sometimes you just catch it wrong, and it'll stop you quick.
He was down another 400ths. Hoping to bank this one. Now, Flux Flare coming up behind him is our current leader of this session. That's going to get interesting on this final hot lap. I mean, Leo doesn't need to pull over. He's on a hot lap, but Flux is definitely faster. It looks like Flux may have hung back a little bit just to get a little more space. See, Old Man Pip coming to the line. Does not improve on that one, but has one more hot lap to go. Flux up a half a tenth in the first sector. Climbs the hill. Definitely gave Leo some more space, but is closing that gap. Oh, I just noticed Flux has front end and front left tire damage, so got into the wall there. And is down 1.1 seconds, so not looking like they're going to improve. Let's check in with Leo. He's still catching Leo, though, so...
If Leo had a mistake, too.
Well, I mean, Leo's best lap is a 51.5.
Yeah.
So he is 2.5 seconds slower than Flux on pace. At least at this point. Well, he is also down 1.8 seconds, so looks like neither of these guys are going to have an improvement.
So Leo didn't pit at all, it doesn't look like.
Well, and Old Man Pip just healed some damage as well, so 4.7 seconds down. So it doesn't look like anybody is going to improve on their final lap. Johnny Boy is already done. Corridor sitting in the pits. There you have it for that qualifying session. Flux Flare with a 1:48.939, solid time there. Old Bam Pip with a 1:50.131, followed closely by Corridor, a 1:50.407. Leo with a 1:51.564, and BK2 Johnny Boy with a 1:51.895. One of the drivers looks like they've been able to make a top split time, but we do still have an hour and 15 minutes to go in this qualifying session. So interesting to see just how many more drivers we get to come out.
Yes, indeed. Jump on in. Grab yourself a qualifying time.
That's right. Johnny Boy reminds us this is his first week on a wheel. He has been a controller driver up until now. In that learning curve process, trying to pick up on a...
Yeah, what do you think about the transitioning from the wheel to from controller to wheel, Johnny? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'd like to know. I when I got the game, when I bought my first PlayStation 5, my first video game system, and bought the game, I bought a wheel right away. I didn't even touch the controller, so I have no idea what it's like to drive on a controller. And if I ever had to, it's not happening.
Yeah, my first experience outside of controller with this was a wheel just a couple of years ago, and around about the time I started getting involved with PHG. But rewinding back in my high school days, I remember in the original Gran Turismo having a Mad Catz wheel. Anybody remember those?
I do not.
Yeah, I do.
Showing my age. I'm 41 years old, so remember having a Mad Catz wheel, and yeah, it was definitely an experience, but it's definitely, now knowing what I know, it's definitely very enriching and a much better experience, in my opinion, if you have a wheel to do stuff like this.
Yeah, and Slow-Mo, he's actually the one that got me into sim racing. I
Oh,
was
really?
over at his house. Yeah, I was over at his house. And he's like, check out this rig I got in the basement. And so I started some laps and went over a couple times, and I didn't pull the trigger for a while. And then when I finally did, yeah, then it was just on. So it was like I got that itch right away, because I'm a big car guy just in general. You know,
Mhm.
I've got a sports car. You know, I drive a 370Z in real life. So,
Oh,
but
nice.
this game definitely keeps me safe. So I don't take that. You know, I've taken the car to the track and whatnot, but you know, when you can do it like this and you're not spending gas money or anything, why not? So that car
Yeah.
just sits there looking
It's
pretty.
to drive cars you would never get to drive in real life. I can appreciate that.
It's
I
yeah.
own I have a 2015 Focus ST and a 2008 Mustang GT as my cars. But Krulov, I'm curious, since you're a fellow car guy, what is your dream car?
My dream car.
Yeah.
It's a Nissan. It's a Nissan GTR. Like if they asked me to pick something out in the world, if they were giving me anything, that would be the car I would pick today.
I can
So
definitely appreciate that. You know, GTRs are definitely very fast cars and very competitive. For me, it would have to probably, and I've probably brought it up before, the mid 2000s Ford GT. That would be my dream car to own. Either that or a 67 to a 70 Ford Mustang Fastback or Boss 302 or something. So, Sal, what about you?
yeah,
You know, if price was no object, if I was just being given whatever I asked for, you know, if I rubbed the lamp and got a genie, it would probably be a Pagani. Either that or a Koenigsegg.
Fair enough.
Either a Koenigsegg 1.1 or I'm not sure which Pagani. I like all the Paganis. They're probably my. I like the supercars that aren't the big ones. You know, Ferrari, Lamborghini,
Yeah, they're like
Bugatti.
the
You know, everybody knows those, but the Pagani and the Koenigsegg especially have always impressed me.
yeah,
yeah,
and
they're definitely like the supercar of supercars, right? You know, like you got to know what you're talking about when it comes to Paganis and Koenigsegg's, because you know most people just say, "Oh yeah, I want a Ferrari, I want a Lamborghini," but for car people like us, when you start saying stuff like Pagani and Zonda, then we kind of look at each other like, "Okay, we know what we're talking about here."
Yeah, I mean they are ultra
so
exclusive. You know, certainly even fewer of those made than. I mean, and Ferraris and Lamborghinis are fairly exclusive as well, but you know they're kind of on the same lines as like a a Bentley or what's the other one? There's another. It's either an English or a German brand that's the luxury like a Bentley. I can't think of the name of it.
And it can't be the Morgan.
No, not the Morgan. Something modern.
Rolls Royce.
No, even I can't think of
I
it.
mean,
Hold on, I got to Google it now. It's gonna bug me.
uh, yeah, no, you're talking with the car you want the genie to give you, as you know, you're in the $1 million range and stuff.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'll take a $100,000 GTR or something. You find me one of those, I'll be set. I know I'll drive
Yeah.
the crap
Now
out
that
of
I'm
that.
thinking about it, now that I'm thinking about it, I might actually, if it
money were no object, I'd also consider a Koenigsegg because years back they were Ford powered, and everybody knows I'm a blue oval boy. So
GT3 jumping in here.
I'm doing some Googling. I'm not. Oh, Maybach. That's what it is. Maybach.
Maybach.
Which looks like it's Mercedes-Maybach now. So they must have bought them out. But yeah, Maybach was the one I was thinking of.
Fair enough. Looks like we've got, I don't know who this is, and I don't know.
Wicco.
All right, Wicco. And that on track. Nice open track for him.
I believe he had said last week that is Korean for...
Yeah, I think I remember that. All right, so he's got the whole track to himself.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've kind of, gotten ourselves into a lull here. It might be time for TurtleBeach to hit the track here soon.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Turn some laps, man.
I think I could do that. I could probably step away and then back and finish it out.
If you want to go get yourself into the groove here,
it.
spend the next 10 minutes getting yourself all warmed up and in the groove and ready to go, and you can come back and let us know how your qualifying lap went.
Yeah, that'll work. Sounds like a good idea.
All right, cool. Well, good luck, sir.
No commentating though, because you can't have the commentator's curse. I'm calling it out right now because
we promise we totally silent for your lap. We swear.
Nah, I believe it. No, I usually jump into lobbies when there's another car or two, just so I'm sometimes not on camera.
There you go.
It's always been a thing.
The commentator's curse is real.
It is real. It's absolutely real. So it doesn't matter whether you talk about it or not, because it is absolutely real.
Which is funny, because if I'm participating in a league, I always have the broadcast turned off while I'm racing, because it's too distracting. But it just so happens that almost every time I spin out, it's when they're talking about me. So there's something, magic in witches. I don't know. There's something going on that causes that.
Yeah, and it's sort of like the same thing where if I'm live streaming, when I'm doing a race, I turn off the chat reader, because I can't even read it in VR, but I'm locked in on the race. Like, you guys are free to chat away and say whatever you want, but I need to be locked in when it comes time to race time.
Yeah, same here.
All right, here I go. I'm gonna step away and put a lap or two down.
All right, good luck.
All right, good luck, man. And now there are two until TurtleBeach comes back.
Yep. Well, we get the pleasure of watching Wicco go around here. Looks like rocking another MMR livery. I know Wicco likes to kind of split time between his PHG banana and apparently... I know he's good friends with Moose and spends a lot of time with those guys. He is running in the IRO series for that team. While also running some stints in the Sector 7 GTSC one with PHG. In fact, me and Wicco will be doing the Le Mans race next weekend.
Oh, very nice.
We got a 3-hour race to do, 1.5 hours each. I need to start getting some practice. Le Mans is one of my favorite tracks, so I'm pretty well versed in it. I haven't put many laps down in the new Porsche, which is what our team is running, but I have a feeling it won't take me too long to get up to speed, so I'll have to start putting some practice laps this weekend.
One of these days, Sal, I might have to ask you to give me some tips for how to be fast at Le Mans, because that's where I fall short, is bigger tracks like Le Mans and the Nürburgring and all of that. I can't figure it out. Like I'm very good at the tight technical kind of tracks, as we talked about earlier. You brake here, roll onto the gas here, and Le Mans is just so different because carrying speed, I feel like, is so key to having a fast lap time there. And you don't carry enough speed in one turn, then your lap time is just poof, it's done.
Yep. I will say, doing the circuit experience on all the tracks, doing the circuit experience forces you to get better at the track. And Le Mans, for sure, the circuit experience at Le Mans is a difficult one. Some of the circuit experiences aren't too bad. Like when they came out with like Yas Marinas, for example, the circuit experience there wasn't too hard. Even the one at CGV, which came out at the same time, was not terribly difficult. But doing Le Mans, doing Nürburgring, and some of the others are quite difficult to get the all gold in, and getting that gold time forces you to get faster. Like you have to explore what it is that makes cars fast in different places, and that the best part is you just keep doing those sectors over and over. I mean, doing laps at Le Mans is difficult because you may go through like the Porsche curves, and if you screw something up, you don't experience it again for 4 minutes. In the circuit experience, you can be back at it trying those same corners again within seconds, and it does help kind of get that muscle memory down. And then it's piecing together the whole lap, which is a whole nother thing. But luckily at Le Mans, you get those such long straights. It's not a bajillion turns like what you have at Nürburgring. Nürburgring, the challenge not only is being fast and carrying the momentum, but it's just memorizing all the corners. I mean, that's a task in and of itself. Le Mans doesn't have that many corners, so it's easier to memorize, but it's still hard to be good at.
Yeah, I think the big thing with me is that throws me off at Le Mans as we see Wicco coming into the pits, swapping out for a fresh set of racing softs. I think the big thing with me at Le Mans is, once again, it's not as tight and technical as something like Suzuka or Scuba Circuit or Dragon Trail, right? So, you kind of got to rethink how you take the turns. You don't necessarily need to go down several gears or even into first gear to be fast through turns. Do you agree, disagree?
Yeah, you pretty much don't use first gear in any car at Le Mans. I mean, there's only really one tight corner, and that's the end of the Mulsanne straight, and then the other tight right-hander after you're done with Indy are really the only two ones where you may get down to second. Well, and I should say no car. There are some cars that have very tall first gears, and you might use them there, but very few. Most cars you're going to come out of there in second gear. And then really it's just a matter of, like we said, carrying the speed, which involves not overdriving the car. You get into something like the Porsche curves and stuff like that. It's being gentle on your steering inputs. Like, they're not tight corners, so you really kind of ease into the corner, and you don't want to continue adding steering input when you reach the slip angle for the tire. Because if you keep adding steering input, now the front tires start to slide and you're understeering, and then you lose time. So you got to figure out where that sweet spot is and not exceed it. And it's different at Le Mans. Like the corners are not similar corners. Some of these tracks, they have like, oh, this corner, and this corner are kind of the same. So you just kind of get them right, and you're good to go. Le Mans, because it's so big, the two chicanes are fairly similar, and those two right-handers that I talked about are fairly similar. But like the Porsche curves, going through those is very different. Some of them you dab the brakes just a little, there's only those couple of hard braking zones. That was the other thing I learned when doing Nürburgring, is that there's very few corners you actually want to do full braking. Like, you're really only doing somewhere between a quarter and three-quarter brake on most of the corners throughout a lap at the Nürburgring. And that was just totally went against what I had always known. For me, it was always like, all right, full on the gas, and then you wait as long as you can, and then brake fully to get slowed down. It's like that's just not the case. I mean, the whole concept of trail braking is the antithesis of that. You brake less so you can steer while braking. The only time you ever want to be full brake is when you're in a straight line. And at Nürburgring, there's very few straight lines.
Yeah, just dabs a brake here and there, right? Just a little bit here. And, you know, you talk about braking in a straight line, but the time I brought it up earlier, trying to learn the Formula cars at Laguna Seca is, you know, using the brake to help steer your car, right?
Yep.
You know, especially in really awkward corners. So it's like two things can be true at once. I don't know. You just have to experience it to know what I'm talking about. Is, you know, using those brakes to help steer your car into the corners.
Right. I mean, it really is kind of like a controlled slide. Like you've arrived. Like you've kind of reached that upper level when most of the corners you get the car to slip a little, and that helps you be faster. And you never take it too far that it spins you out. That's how you know you've kind of achieved the optimal for the car. And we saw that with Witt. When he was putting in his fastest laps, we were seeing that tail wag just a little bit, but on a lot of different corners, we were seeing that tail wag around. That's how you know you've got a fast car.
Got Wicco done with his hot lap with a 2:03.572.
He's able to,
Next
improve
up
by about a
should be-
quarter second on that last lap there. Let's see, the ticker, the split one cutoff time is off. A 1 or a 2:04.200, so he is within split one provisionally. There should be very few Group 3 drivers left to qualify, so he may retain split one territory here.
Yeah.
20
Right,
drivers.
so next
If we
up-
get one more Group 3 driver, that'll fill up the third split.
Next up, at least one should be Krulov, our guest commentator. He can give us some in-race perspective with how things feel here in the current conditions at Mount Panorama, aka Bathurst. The Armor All placards back in the background, the billboards. Fujitsu air conditioning. I'm pretty sure I had Fujitsu air conditioning in Afghanistan. That rings a bell.
You know, I've watched certain streamers that go around on this track, and they've done the whole like sit and wait for the alien to come by and beam up the cow. I have yet to ever see it while I'm at
like
the track.
right on that backstretch, right? Yeah.
Yep. Just as we were saw Wicco drive by, I'm like, ooh, I wonder if it's going to happen. I've never seen it live. I've only ever seen it, you know, when somebody's, you know, either not necessarily streaming it or, you know, posting it as like a VOD or something.
Yeah, there's lots of little, incidents of, or Easter eggs. That's the word I'm looking for. Easter eggs of stuff like that. I think on Trial Mountain at the end of the really long stretch out of the tunnels, at a certain point you can see Nessie coming up out of the water, and it's
There's like a pack of bears there, and I think there's a like a monkey up in one of the trees or something like that.
Yeah, and then in one of the retro races, I think it is, you start off with 15 cars in the field, but towards the end of the race, a car driven by an E. Brown shows up in a DeLorean, aka Emmett Brown from Back to the Future. So, you know, lots of cool little Easter eggs in Gran Turismo.
Absolutely.
I
think at Grand Valley, there's another alien spacecraft that shows up and beams something up. I don't think it's a cow, though. I think it's something else.
Yeah,
but
like
yeah,
one
there's
of the
a whole
seals,
bunch of them.
something like that.
Yeah, it might be a seal. There's a couple channels out there where they'll have like, oh yeah, here's a dozen different Easter eggs, and they'll just run through them, which I love watching that stuff.
Yeah, it's like you never notice that when you're racing because you're so locked in, right?
Right. Well, and they're generally like, so rare that unless you're looking for them, like, how are you ever going to happen upon it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, particularly like the alien spacecraft that beams up the cow here at Mount Panorama. It's something that doesn't show up for like 15, 20 minutes or something like that. So, all right, Crew Lob is in the lobby.
Smooth as fast indeed, sir.
Driver.
Almost gonna have an even split between Group 1 and Group 3 drivers for the PHG World Series.
We do have just under an hour left, so plenty of time for more drivers to get in here from both classes. From both classes.
Going back to asking Johnny Boy about transitioning from controller to wheel, he said, just watch stream back, and to answer your question, Chuck, it's a big surprise how different the game is on controller. I could instantly floor it coming out of a turn. If I slipped, I could catch it.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I experienced that same thing. Trying to drift on my wheel, I find almost impossible. But on controller, I can do it fairly well. Like, you just seem to be able to catch it. I don't know if it's my reaction time or whatnot, but I think that's the common consensus, is that, you know, catching a slide or doing drifting on controller is just easier than on a wheel. Now, with that being said, you got people like Paco who will drift all day in a Group 3 car on a Fanatec wheel. I don't know how the heck he does it. But...
All right, Krulov screaming down the back stretch here.
In the Mazda.
An 870. Yep.
Once again, while we're waiting for Krulov to get around on his outlap, for those of you out there in YouTube land, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, maybe even consider becoming a channel member. We do a lot of these broadcasts here for PHG World Series, Joker Series, and our new endeavor over at Upshift Media Studios. You can find that YouTube channel at Upshift Media Studios. Go over there, we'll be doing lots of broadcasting over there, starting shortly. Krulov now on his hot lap.
Around into the second turn here, and into the third, and he's going to climb the mountain here.
All right, we promised we would limit how often we say his name. Although he went really wide in that corner there, that cost him a lot of time.
Oof. Here we go. He's up on top of the mountain and coming up under the sign here and descending the mountain. Let's see how he does this. Just weaving his way through very neatly so far. And that last turn onto the high-speed backstretch.
That as a kind of a lazy exit coming out of that corner, getting onto the backstretch here. Thank you, Papa, for posting the Upshift Media Studios YouTube channel link in the chat. As a call out to everybody, go to that channel and subscribe over there as well. We're trying to build that up so that once we start doing broadcasting, we've got that up to a monetized channel. So kind of a call out to everybody as a favor. Anybody who's already a member here, or even people that are new, just go check that channel out. And then come back here and continue watching qualify. Like Krulov with a 150.810. Not a bad time. We saw a couple of corners that maybe weren't perfect, so we could see him bring that down. We know he's got a little bit better time in him than that. See how much he can improve. I expect in Sector 2 to see him improve.
He's got about 1.2 seconds he's got to make up if he wants split 1, it looks like.
There we go. A lot tidier through that corner that time. That's a tricky one, the one he just got through. That one he went really really wide last time. Just smooth through it. Get through here without clamoring the wall. Get through this left without going off in the grass. Done well. Now onto the brakes. You have half a second up. Now if he can tidy up the bottom corner here. Goes, gets the braking. There we go. Carried some better speed through there, certainly.
Very nice.
He approaches the second time check, or third time check, I'm sorry. Up by 3/4 of a second.
Oh, wow.
Getting close to that 149 range. Needs to get a 149.662. To get himself up into split 1. See how well the final split went.
You do it?
49.969, an improvement of over 0.8. Needs to knock off a little over 0.3. Work his way into top split. If Krulov is going to do the pit for new tires strat, you should see. I mean, new tires can be worth, anywhere from 3 to 5/10 if you're able to put together that perfect lap with the fresh tires.
Yeah, and with all the fuel burn and less weight in the car, how much time does he have left on his qualification?
Well, he's got 3.5 minutes. So he's at 6.5 minutes right now. It's a 10-minute qualifier.
What do you think, Sal? Let's see. Oh, up a 10th better. What do you think, Sal? You pit here and try to get some more time, or you ride it out?
I think pit. If he was up a half second, I'd maybe bank it. Oh, and especially since he
definitely now
botched the corner at the end of the mountain. Definitely time to come in. Plenty of time to get one more hot lap. I mean, now that the tires are starting to wear, within the next lap, he'll start to feel that. And then it's really going to get hard to try to improve on that lap time. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, though, if you come in for tires. You've only got one more chance at it. He's going to stay out. He's just going to stay in the flow. So we'll have 2 more laps. Yeah, we saw he was up by a 10th and ended up being down 1.9 with that one big mistake. I mean, it's the worst spot to have it. You botch that corner at the bottom of the hill, you're losing time for the entire long straightaway. See if he's going to try to push it coming up the hill here. There's that awkward corner right here. Oh, nice and tidy through there.
up on top of the mountain, a little downhill here. Super tricky right here. You can send it wide if you're not careful out into the sand trap, and he descends the hill.
He is on par with his last lap. He was 1/10 down. He is 99 hundredths down on this one. So if he can get this bottom turn, that's, he almost seemed a little tentative. You know, he went too deep last time. It seemed like he overcorrected there. Let's see where he's at the next time check, but I think he may not be on an improvement. We'll see. Nope. Oh, just barely off. He's got one more shot though.
Do the little chicane there and into the final turn here.
So there's a couple of spots where we see him lift when he's just a little tentative on the corners.
49.
Oh, he did improve. He improved, and we know he's got another 10th or 2 in him. His optimal, which we can't see, but on his screen, it's probably showing a 49.6 or a 49.7. So he is right on the cusp. If he can get this last lap totally put together, still needs to get almost 3/10. Oh, I had to lift there, almost touched the wall. Or he did touch the wall, didn't take damage, but that did slow him down. I mean, he's putting it all out there for this final lap. Maybe just a little too much. All the way over to the grass. We hadn't seen him touch the grass at all, but he is a half second down. So pushing harder, unfortunately, is slowing him down. Or it's possibly that he's pushing just as hard, but the tires are starting to give out.
Yeah, I'd go with the latter on that. You look at the wear. I think the tires are just starting to, say I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the race, he still has plenty of tire left, but for qualifying, that's going to cost him. And yeah, he's down almost 8/10 at this point. So a 49.923 is probably where he's going to end up. That is solidly in split 2. Very much near the top of split 2, but looking like split 1 is going to be just out of reach. I'm interested to hear what his optimal time was when he comes back.
Yeah, so Krulov, if you're listening, let us know what your optimal time was.
Yeah, he improved a 10th and a half in that final sector. Because he was 8/10 down and was only 6.5 tenths down when he crossed the line. Not a bad qualifying effort. Sorry,
yeah,
Chuck,
not
you were going to say?
At all. Oh, no, not a bad qualifying effort at all. Very good laps as we cool down on the cool down laps. Krulov solidly in, I think it was split 2. It looks like his best was a 149.923. Wondering who else we will see show up for qualification.
I saw Hovercraft jump into the lobby and then jump out. Not sure if Hovercraft has already qualified or not. But
you said Hovercraft. Okay.
Yeah, he had jumped into the lobby and then jumped back out. So I don't know if he was coming into waiting for a session. But we do have 40 minutes left in qualifying. That should be 3 or 4 more sessions. Plenty of time for people to come on out and get their times in. We're up to 18 drivers in Group 1, 20 drivers in Group 3. So to fill up the splits, we could use 3 more Group 1 drivers and 1 more Group 3 driver.
dare I also mention with the what was it, the Toyota GR86 time trial. Shaggy, go check the well, he's in the he's in the lobby right now, but I always like to say it's under Shaggy's time. I beat Shaggy's time in the GR86 time trial at Deep Forest Reverse.
There we go. Got the cutoff times updated. All right, Hovercraft is in. And he's in a Group 3 car. So that will round out our Group 3 Split 3 grid with this 21st driver.
While we're waiting for this outlap to start, that time trial at Deep Forest with the GR86 was actually a very fun one for me. I rather enjoyed it. Sal, did you try it?
I don't believe I did. That was a time trial, you're saying?
Yeah, it's a time trial. It's ending tonight, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Some of those.
I don't know. I don't believe I've done that.
Yeah, it ends tonight, but it is actually quite fun to do. Shaggy says, yeah, I probably did a few laps, got gold and moved on. Fair enough.
I'll have to look at it. I know I had gold in something. I can't remember if it was the one that finished last week or if it's this one that's upcoming. I'll check it when we're done here.
I do like my time trials, me personally. Sometimes, especially with the street cars, for whatever reason, it's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing the time trials. I try to put in the time to get gold in as many of them as I can. This week has been a lot of extra work getting the PHG World Series together, putting together some more stuff for Upshift Media Studios, and then my Joker Series race tomorrow. I've definitely had a lot of work to do getting all that buttoned up, so I haven't had any time behind the wheel this week for sure.
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate all the work you do for the PHG World Series, and you're doing your own thing with the Joker Series and all the stuff you do with Upshift Media. So we all definitely appreciate it. You really make this experience great for all of us, even behind the mic, and I'm sure everybody down in the chat and who's watching can really appreciate all the hard work you do. So we appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I think I've kind of found my niche when it comes to the broadcasting production side of things. I really enjoy doing it. I mean, I've said it before. I enjoy it just as much as actually driving. In fact, I think I'm an okay driver. Maybe slightly above average, but certainly nowhere near the aliens. Whereas I feel I'm closer to the top of the heap when it comes to the broadcasting and production side of things. So I like to use my talents where they're what's the word I'm looking for? Where it shines a little more. So
yeah, well, it definitely shows. You do a lot of work.
Hey, Krulov, you're back.
You're joined by Krulov back up here in the booth. What'd you think, bud? How was your lap?
I'm happy with it. I wanted to get the 149. That was my goal. So I barely did, but
we were wondering what your optimal time was showing, because it seemed as if you probably had a couple more tenths in you But I was really anxious to know what yours was showing.
I see, and maybe that would help me be a better driver. I really never know what screen to have my little course map on. So I'm a VR driver.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
you joined the cult like me.
oh yeah, when I mentioned earlier that I bought a wheel from day one, well, I basically bought the virtual reality day one too. So I've never raced on a flat screen. So
Well, but even so, you do have
I'm
access to the MFD in there, so the multifunction display. So you should still be able to see your lap times. You just probably have to select it instead of the radar. Obviously, you don't need the radar if there's nobody else on track.
No, I can get my lap times over there, but I really never think about it. And that's probably why I watch my time as I'm driving. I kind of keep track of my laps in my head, and I look at the deltas a lot, but I really never check my optimal. It gives me something to shoot for. But like when I practice, I usually always use a ghost, half second ahead of me, in time trials and things like that. But it
felt good. I mean, you hit your goal if you're trying to get down to the 49.
I did hit my goal. Yes. Ultimately, I did hit my goal. I know where I make mistakes and where I know I'm slow, and I think the last corner is not very. I'm just not confident on the very last corner. It's not even that hard of a turn. It's just an odd one for me.
Are you talking about the last corner on the track, or the last corner coming down the mountain?
The last
Because it seemed like you had a little bit of problem with that last corner coming down the mountain.
Going down the mountain? Yes, yeah. I did. I tapped the wall there.
Hovercraft up almost 3/10 this lap. Yeah, we were noticing where the mistakes were, and it was like, oh man, if he could just get the full lap all put together. And I mean, we saw you doing, going full send on that final attempt. Got into the wall a few times.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. Once you've met your goal, now it's time to, try some things.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't do is pit, because I talked about earlier. We were saying when you keep going down, it's hard to want to stop.
Right.
The rhythm, and so I didn't come in and get soft. But I was still pretty darn close to its purple at the end. So.
The hovercraft here is got a 2:03.2, which is going to put him solidly in split one. A 2:04.1 is the cutoff for split one in Group 3. So solid time to start with, about a second behind Jorge Sr. Hovercraft no slouch. Let's see if he can improve on this.
I just kept thinking, they're not commentating. They're not commentating. That was running through my head the entire time.
Commentating, my friend.
I know. And then when I hit the wall, I'm like, ah.
I was trying to commentate without using your name. It seems to be when it's like Beetlejuice. If we mention your name too many times, then problems happen. So if we can just say, around the corner he goes, and
Beetlejuice.
There's a few tracks, and we know several of them. The Green Hell being one of them, where you've got sections where if you are right, it seems easy, and if you're wrong a little bit, it'll throw the whole entire rhythm off.
Yeah.
And that's going down the hill here. You do have to. You do have to make sure you feel it. Otherwise, you get a little out of sorts, and you really lose time.
Yeah, once you get to that comfort level and you can predict what the car is going to do, I mean, you can really start to hone in on that lap times. It's a matter of how long does it take to get into that flow state where you know what the car's doing, because all the way up to that point you're guessing. It's like try this, try that, okay, what's it going to do here? Oh, mistake, and you learn from it. And once you finally piece it all together, and you're absolutely right. At the Nürburgring, when you're in that state, it does. It feels so easy. You're just flowing through the corners, and everything's great. But when you're not in that flow, every corner feels like a fight. Like every corner's a struggle.
Every corner is definitely a struggle. Yes.
Yeah, and talking about the
doubt.
flow state, why do I feel like it's easier to get into a flow state with faster cars on shorter tracks? For instance, practicing for Nations this weekend, I felt myself on the verge a time or two of getting into said flow state because, everything's just so fast. You need to have everything locked down and, okay, I do this here, I do this here. And I feel like the faster the car and the as hovercraft gets sideways and into the wall.
He was pushing it so hard. He was really trying to get a faster lap with these worn tires, and I think he pushed it just a little too hard. He got loose here, touched the wall, and then the back end comes around. It was just like this long, painful slide. Didn't quite spin it all the way around, but that'll ruin his final lap. But as we said, had a really good banker lap already.
Yeah, but yeah, talking about that, I feel like it's easier to get into that flow state on shorter tracks. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. I mean, on a shorter track, you just get more repetition, more chances at each corner. That gives you a chance to hone in on it. Oh, hovercraft gonna do some donuts. Get some donuts out of the way. Somebody's hungry. I wonder if he can get some sprinkles on those.
I wonder if he glazed his brakes on that. My brakes are glazed. My brakes glazed.
They better be glazed. You're going home. Kid was right. Brakes were glazed. Love that movie. I was actually watching a quick little 15-minute YouTube video yesterday, which was actually talking about that story as a full documentary, like the actual story, and certainly called out some of the differences between the movie and the real life story, which was interesting. So like that crash at the Nürburgring actually happened in his second season, not in his inaugural season, and a bunch of other things like that. So, but just a really cool, hearing the full truth, not the Hollywood version, is even more impressive.
Yeah, Jan Martin Moreau, I think, is a hero for a lot of us sim racers. That's who the movie was based upon, and a lot of people know. Well, if you stayed for the credits, Jan Martin Moreau was the stunt driver for the actor playing him, which I think is super cool. But Sal, can you maybe send me the link to that video, because I'd be interested in watching it.
Yeah, I'll have to go back to my history and see if I can find it. This winds down here.
Still got a little less than a half an hour left. Jump on in here, folks. Set your times and see where you wind up.
Build the grid.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a fun race. I think it's gonna be a fun race. It'll be a challenge, and not like Shaggy Triforce, not something you're used to, different, but still good racing. I was excited about this track, and when I mentioned that race in VR, sometimes I choose my car based on the cockpit view because that's all I have. So R92 is not one of my favorites in the cockpit with that sideways RPM tack. And it just lacks anything in there. I know it's a race car, but it's not good for racing in VR. Like at least the 787 has a RPM bar. Well, a little bit of a count up. It just more.
Yeah, I can attest to that too, Crew Lob, as a fellow VR driver. You don't have all of the helps that you have in bumper cam or hood cam or chase cam, whatever you prefer. It's literally you inside the car, right? I mean, yeah, you got the radar, but I mean, it's definitely a whole new experience watching the race in the car. The only thing I can suggest to people who don't know what it's all about is, and it doesn't even do it justice, is watch a whole lap down here in cockpit view. It's a whole new experience, but those of us who are VR drivers can really appreciate the immersion, the realism, and how fun it is to feel like you're actually in the car, as we see Tommy Turismo coming out in the Group 3 Mazda Vision.
Wannabe Aston Martin, apparently.
Yeah.
The Mazda. I'm trying to incorporate Mazda and Aston Martin together.
Yeah,
Mazda,
wasn't he talking about the Aston gang or something in the chat, the Discord earlier this week?
Listen to that rotary scream as he comes up. Climbs down the hill. Nice and nimble. Using all the track right up against that wall. And hits the backstretch. Hammer down. Rotary singing the song of its people.
It's going to be a loud backstretch sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Goes in there with the 787 side by side, passing each other. Make sure to crank it up.
Oh, yeah. I gotta work this weekend, but if I can catch the broadcast, I will definitely be living to hear the crank it up.
Well, we're watching Tommy here. I'm going to step away for just 1 minute.
Tommy coming down into the start finish. Oh, wait, actually, no. I'm sorry. You already passed the start finish. Coming up the hill. Lazy-ish right-hander, but very tricky because it's uphill. And then the hard uphill right here. Very easy if you're not careful to get sucked into the wall or get your tail end kicked out. Approaching the top of the mountain. Navigating these turns very nicely. And I'm gonna go climb down the mountain here. Oh, a little squirrely, but hangs on to it almost into the wall.
Keeps it going straight.
Using all of that track onto the backstretch. Letting the spicy Dorito fly.
the chicane. The big chicane. That's a big chicane.
Got a little twitchy there going through the chicane.
Yeah. Into the last turn. Let's see how
I'm
he
on the
looks.
inside curb a little bit.
151.505.
I believe that's a glitch. It's a 206.580.
Oh, 206.580, okay.
There we go.
Don't want PD. Oh, there you go. 206.580.
Yeah.
Not sure why it does that sometimes. It just puts in some random time that has nothing to do with the actual time.
That will
Your
put
lap
him, I
order.
think, according to our ticker, I think that might put him in split 3.
Yeah, right at the top of split 3, somewhere close to that.
will-
Looks like.
Well, he's currently the 22nd driver, so the 22nd driver will be actually the first car in Group 4, or Split 4. Although I'll be anxious to see how Shaggy handles this. If we have 22 drivers in Group 3 and 20 or 21 drivers in Group 1, there really isn't a way to do a Split 4, so there may be eliminations. Yeah, and Shaggy just validated that in the chat. There will only be 3 splits this round, so does need to improve by 3/10, a little over 3/10 in order to make it into split 3.
Are you?
And he's up almost 4/10 now, so there we go. What was that, Crew Love?
I said, are you hosting the
Nope.
Friday
So the Friday
this
race,
weekend?
I will be part of the commentary team, and Saturday I will not be around. I plan on taking my son car shopping to try to get him his
Ooh.
first vehicle. So
What's he looking at?
he's looking at a lot of different stuff. I mean, he just got his driver's license about a month ago now, and we just started looking. We went and test drove a car earlier this week, and we'll test drive a few more over the weekend. Not sure if we'll actually make a purchase over the weekend or if we'll just get a couple more test drives in. That's yet to be determined, but for some reason he likes the Volvos, but you know, those are a little more expensive to fix, being you know, being an overseas manufacturer. But also he test drove a Hyundai Elantra, which is also overseas, but they're, you know, cheaper parts. So
A little bit, yeah, a little more on the common side parts for that.
So is he going to be an enthusiast?
he does play a bit of Gran Turismo. Every now and then I let him get in the cockpit and actually drive on my rig, which he actually hasn't asked for a while.
So he's kind of a sort of enthusiast.
Yes, he does enjoy cars. In fact, when we were going, it was weird. When we were headed to the test drive or to the dealer, as we were driving down I-94 in St. Paul, all of a sudden, going past us were 3 McLarens and then a Porsche 911. And the Porsche 911 had some like GoPros on the outside, so they must have been filming something.
You know what they're doing with those.
Yep. So we were like, wait a minute. I don't think I've seen 3 McLarens in a row in the wild before. I've seen them at the track when I've gone to Road America. I don't think I've seen like onesie, twosie. I've never seen 3 of them all at once. And then the very next day, I was driving him home from work, and we saw another McLaren Arturo in a completely different place on the way to Prescott, Wisconsin. We're like, what? What are the chances? We've seen 4 McLarens within a 24-hour period. It's like, what the heck? All right, Tommy Turismo has definitely made his way under the cut.
I think it might be fate. You know, maybe the world was tempting him. He needs to be a racing driver.
Yeah, get him behind the fake wheel. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's ultimately safer
Yeah, and you don't have to pay for tires or gas or, you bend it in a turn. Well, your pride is hurt, but you don't have to pay for it out of pocket. So.
I think he's wanted to get like a starter rig at his mom's house, so that like we could actually race together. Because obviously, if he gets one here at my house, you can only really run one at a time. So unless we get another PlayStation, which I'm not, or at least not anytime soon. But if he gets a rig down there, then maybe he can compete in some of these, which would be kind of cool.
Son of Sal. We'll see him one day, right?
Maybe. I mean, we've seen him in the lobbies. I have done a stream or two where we do father-son battles doing split screen, where I'm in my rig and he's on controller. We don't do that very often. I think I've only done it like twice, but it's always fun.
Tommy Turismo coming up into the backstretch chicane here.
It's like he was down by over a second, and this is the final lap. So a 2:05.812 is probably going to be his banked lap. Just gonna wait for the powers that be to update the cutoff time, and I'll get that updated as well.
We got enough time for another one? Do we have? Oh,
yeah, I think there was somebody queued up to do, or no,
right.
Slow K was talking about it, but he said he's not going to be racing this week. I'm not sure if we got anyone else queued up or not.
Yeah, he's jumped in, I think. I know he raced last week, and then I know he's jumped in before. But yeah, GTSC.
Yeah, Shaggy's saying S to C and Cornbread are on deck, so.
Oh, Cornbread. Cornbread.
Waiting for the cool down lap timer to tick down.
Another cool thing about this community and kind of getting to race together with a bunch of guys, and it gives me a chance to do. I mean, taking out. I mean, tonight it's a lot longer, but usually take an hour, hour and a half a night, and guys I meet, I talk to, I'd consider friends, and that's just really cool. You kind of start to build like rivalries per se, and it happens, and how you start to learn all these racers just as much as the track, the cars. You start to learn how they race, and just makes you can learn a lot from it, and and very enjoyable racing.
Absolutely.
This may be our last split, barring our competition director calling an audible, right? Or not our last split, but our last qualifying session.
Let's see. We got S to C in a Group 1 car. Well, Shaggy said S to C, then Cornbread. So I'm assuming Cornbread must be in a Group 3 car and S to C in a Group 1 car. So we will go into overtime a little bit.
PHG
The referee is holding up stoppage time on the sideline. 10 minutes, he says. Anybody watch any World Cup?
Maybe that should be an animation too, sort of like NASCAR overtime, PHG overtime.
Yeah, I know the World Cup, it's it's really cool to see all these people in the stands, um, different countries and stuff over here, and that's uh and major crowds has been pretty cool to watch.
Oh yeah. Watched a
Definitely.
video too of people, experiencing America for the first time, and it's actually kind of funny, how they're like, "This is awesome, this is great."
Yeah,
They've
all
got
the
Buc-ee's, and
yeah,
I can get this or that. And I don't have this in Britain, or I don't have this in
yeah.
Japan.
I think it's the ball over at Boston Red Sox game, when I believe that a bunch of Scotland people from Scotland were at the baseball game. Oh, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
on a more serious note, that kind of lends you to believe as we look at S2C, the Monster Energy pink livery, very nice. It's kind of one of those things that the things that they think is so cool. It's kind of things we take it for granted living here in the States. So just kind of things you need to gives you pause and realize, like, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
They kind of appreciate what we take for granted over here just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. S2C, climbing down the mountain, eating up those apexes, getting those tires nice and warm for his hot lap. And through the final chicane here. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I would say it just sounds so great when it just goes down all by itself, and you just kind of hear the echo. I can only imagine if you're actually at that track to hear that.
Oh yeah, to hear the 787B just
Yeah.
scream.
Yeah, it'd be great to hear that in person.
Oh yeah. I found a YouTube or a Facebook video somewhere of just the 787B idling, and it's like, oh my goodness, that sounds so awesome. It's like loping, but like you would think from a drag V8 cam engine, bum 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 bum, but it's boom 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 boom. It sounds so amazing.
Yeah, you really pick up a little grass there.
Let's see, coming down the mountain here, threading the needle through various mini chicanes and turns, coming up to the backstretch here. Is that net code or? Yeah, I think that's net code because there's no damage.
Yeah, he didn't get any damage.
Just really riding it out to 203 miles an hour. Oh, hang on to it, S2C. Cross the line here.
This is the lap right here that I think the tires actually, felt okay. They were definitely warmed up nice by this point.
That's pretty typical. Most cars, it seems to be, well, I mean, depending on the track, somewhere between lap 3 and lap 5, the tires really kind of come into their own.
Yeah, and it didn't really feel that bad. You know, like I said, I didn't pit in my qualifying, but they didn't feel terrible after, you know, even going extra laps without coming in with new fresh softs.
Ooh,
Across the top of the
the
mountain.
whole track there.
Oh,
Lucky 777 ahead.
there you go. Make good on it. That's the
Through
seat.
there. Stay away from the wall. Power on it. Better rip.
Grip it and rip it.
Still up over
Still
7
in that
tenths. And at a 149, getting really close to the split one cutoff. Ooh, really wiggly there.
Oh, and into the grass a little bit. He just hangs on to it.
So a reminder of 49.662 is what we're looking at for split one. Or no, actually, it's getting down to 150, not the 149. 49.
Whoa.
Oh no, it was a
49.942.
49.942. Ooh, big
He picked
improvement.
up he picked up a lot of time right there in that last sector.
Cleans up a
He
couple
went
of
up.
those
Wow.
wiggles. He needs 3 more tenths
Yeah.
to make it into split one. There's 1 tenth already. Needs to push it, but not overdo it. In fact, probably needs to drive about the same. Just don't make the small mistakes.
Yeah, because you know you got the fuel load slowly depreciating. That's going to make your car naturally faster. So
Clip the wall there. It's going to cost a little time. Did not take damage though.
oh, 2 tenths
2
down.
tenths.
Yeah, this is going to be key for him to try to make that time up right here in this sector.
Yeah, because I think that
Down.
last sector was a really good one. Probably not going to make up as much in the final sector. This one here might be able to, although this would be the lap to come in and just get tires, especially if he's red.
Yeah.
Still down by
that right
1.7
there will
tenths.
change. Yeah, that'll change your mind. I think right there, make your decision easier to say, okay, I'll put tires on. Unfortunately, we didn't have that. But
Sure enough.
I don't know. Good call. He was already down a few tenths, so I probably would have done the same thing. Come in and grab some fresh rubber and see how I can do with less fuel load on the remaining time.
Yeah, and he should get out where he can get to. So, for a good full hot lap. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely make it around. Has about a 15-20 second cushion.
Yep.
Even if he crashes on the out lap, should be able to make it around.
Coming up the mountain here for his out lap. The tire's nice and
Oh,
no!
hey, yeah.
Well, get the pen early in the lap. That's okay.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is to get it in the final sector, and then the whole rest of it's trashed. Because you won't serve it that lap, you'll serve it the next lap. Be smooth.
Thankfully, that
Plenty of time to
final
get
sector.
around.
Yeah, that final sector, I think it's. I mean, the penalty area is pretty small. I mean, you don't really see many penalties in this last sector normally on this track.
Right.
When you're racing, so should be safe to avoid. messing up that last lap. You'd have to just launch it straight through the chicane there. Hold on.
All right, comes the hot lap. The final attempt.
Ecstasy.
Bobbled it a bit on corner exit. Well, pretty even with their fastest lap thus far. They head up the hill.
That's where he picked up the penalty on the last lap, was right there on that
Yep.
turn. He went
And he missed the
outside
apex.
that white line.
He missed the apex there, which may have cost us a little bit of time. Ooh, using the whole track. Oh, got to be really careful coming down here. Was not lined up properly. Kept it under control.
It's down to half second.
Oh,
Ooh.
really tried to get on the power early. Caused the back end to wiggle a little.
And I always wonder when he hit that grass like that, how dirty does that get your tires when it's not full on in? I know it has some effect, but
It, from what I understand, the dirt on the tires clears up really quick when it's only 2 tires.
only 2.
Like within a matter of a couple of seconds. It isn't until you get all 4 tires off you then really even feel it. And not able to improve, so he's going to bank that 149.942. Is still a respectable lap, solidly in split 2.
Probably right ahead of me. There and there. Split 2 starting grid.
Cool down lap progresses. Nineteen drivers in Group 1. How many drivers do we have in Group 3?
22.
22. Nice. Looks like it's going to be a good weekend for you guys.
Yep, 3 full splits.
Competitive splits,
Yes.
for sure.
I mean, that's always that's really the thing we got going here in the PHG World Series is all this pre-qualifying every week. Really keeps the racing tight because it makes it so that each driver is putting in, their best effort per track. It isn't the average, of how well you do overall, but are you a ringer at this track? Or are you typically
Yeah.
A split 1 driver, but this just isn't your track. So you're going to run in split 2 and just make split 2 more competitive.
Exactly. You're still that same caliber driver. You just, so it's still competitive and you're in where you should be. And yeah, I have better tracks myself that I've been in a better split, but still competitive and even dropping back. And those at times those are the ones I go, I don't really want to be in split 2. I'll be better off, I know, just because I ran a very good time. I don't think when it comes to the race I would be, and you know, sometimes that'll happen too. Put down that super flyer, your personal best, and oh my gosh, I should have raced in split 3. For me anyway. You know, some people, you know, I'm that kind of driver.
So Cornbread is our 23rd qualifier.
Look at that back end of that car like that.
Aliens. Aliens!
He's sporting the UFO on the side of that wing there. Oh, 40 Racewear. Some of your sponsors, right? And
Yep, 40 Racewear sponsors me and the Joker Series, and then also Papa and the PHG World Series, which, I mean, God, we haven't called them out at all today. We actually need to thank our sponsors that help make the PHG World Series possible. Of course, there's 40 Racewear. You can find them at 40racewear.com. Simnet, makers of pedal accessories for Fanatec pedals. We've got Paul Davis Property Restoration, and then we've got MZW Sim Hardware that also makes sim racing accessories and wheel sets for, again, the Fanatec ecosystem. Definitely go check all those guys out. I believe with 40 Racewear, if you place an order, if you use discount code PAPA10X, you'll get 10% off your order. And then we have a discount code for Simnet as well. I believe it is PHGWS. We'll give you an 8% discount. So thank you to our sponsors. Go check them out.
is it true that if you race 5 rounds, you get to enter first pedals? Is that correct?
Yeah, so Simnet is donating a set of pedals to the winner. Or at least I don't, you know what? Don't quote me on that. I don't know if it's one of the winners or if it's a random drawing at the end of the participants. I forget how that is going to work. But they have donated a set of pedals, which they sent to C-Dubs. Oh, Cornbread! No. Cornbread loses it coming up the hill. Let's see, I think he just got a little loose. Yeah, I got on the loud pedal a little too quickly there. But no, like I was saying, they set a custom set of pedals and they sent them to C-Dubs. C-Dubs has a like an engraving machine, so he has the PHG World Series logo engraved on the set of pedals, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are going to be given away at the end of the season. 40 Racewear is providing some prizes at the end of the season as well. I don't recall if MZW was contributing something. I think they are, but I don't remember what it is. I will need to get the official word from our sponsorship coordinator on how all that entails.
I think if that's up, that's all the more reason to join. I mean, you guys are. That's cool that you brought in sponsors even, and you know you're being able to give stuff away or provide discounts. And, yeah, because I know some people can't get a wheel, can't get a set of pedals, but would love to have them. So I passed along my set, my G29 and pedals to a teammate of mine, so that's what we do.
All right, so we got Krulov coming out of the pits and referencing the alien comment that was made earlier. Can he recover from his spin we just saw at the top of the mountain? Ancient Gran Turismo 7 theorists say yes.
Here we go. I found the post. So we have a sponsor-deals channel in the PHG Discord. And C-Dubs had posted, just as a reminder, the SimNet pedals will be given away at the end of the season based on a drawing. After all decisions are final, we will use the spreadsheet to determine eligible participants. As a reminder, you must compete in at least 5 of the 7 races. Top 10 in points in each category will get double entries.
Ooh.
So, and then he has a picture of the base plate that has the SimNet logo and the PHG World Series engraved on it. So, definitely go check that out in the sponsor-deals channel. PHG.
Yeah. There's way better odds than the Powerball to win, too.
Absolutely.
Bragg coming up to the backstretch here on his outlap. Fresh set of rubber. Coming down into this big chicane. I guess you could call it a chicane.
Yeah, the whole mountain is the twisty bits. We can't really call it the twisty bit.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before, Sal. Twisty bit.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole top of the mountain is twisty and challenging.
I like to use that term at the Nürburgring. Like, all right, now we enter the twisty bits.
Which one?
Well, so there's like 2 major twisty bits. Is how I do. Or I'm sorry, actually there's 3. There's the opening sector of the Nordschleife. Then you go over, or you get done with that, and then you take that long, not straightaway, but that long flat out section. And then it's a twisty bit again until you get to the next long section. And then it's the really twisty bits before you get to the Dottinger Straight.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's like, which twisty bit are you speaking of? There are multiple.
Right. Well, it's like you have the Dottinger Straight, that's obvious, so that separates some of them. And then there's 2 other relatively long straights where you're like full throttle for like a whole minute. And so I call each of the twisty bits on either end of those full throttle sections.
Fair enough.
And we rank it by the 3rd twisty bit is the most twisty. The 1st twisty bit is the 2nd most twisty. And the 2nd twisty bit, and the 2nd twisty bit is the least of the twisty bits.
Yeah, the 3rd is the twistiest of the twisty bits. Let's see here. Coming down through the final chicane into the last corner here before he crosses the line. And
Look at this,
his last lap.
Because he really hadn't put down a lap yet, had he?
2:03.766.
There we go.
That
Oh, yeah.
is split 1. That is the top split time.
That's a good lap.
That is going to bump.
Because he really hadn't, so he hadn't really done anything. Like, I think even, put it down in time, had he? I mean, it looks like it, but he came out.
They're all red, so I think it was.
Yeah, right. Oh, they're a refresh there. Yeah, no, he had a 225 and a 207, so he really hadn't put down a banker, so he just hit one there with 1 to spare.
Tires are still relatively fresh. This could be a better lap. We'll see as he approaches the top of the hill in the 2nd time check where he's at. Is purple. Barely, but is purple.
Better time's a better time, right?
Right. I mean, he's already in split 1, and this should be the final qualifying session. So, but now that our race day starting grids are set by these qualifying times, getting a better qualifying time is going to help. See as he approaches the third time check. Still up 7/1000ths of a second. See if he can really pour it on in the final sector here.
Oh, this is going to be key this last turn.
Gets through the chicane. I'm going to call that chicane curvy instead of twisty. That's the curvy bit. We like them curvy.
Got power down good.
There we go.
Oh, there
Gained
you
another
go.
2/10,
Yeah.
a 2:03.533. Solid time there. I believe that's going to wrap up qualifying. We'll get the official word from Shaggy. I think that might do it.
Yeah, you mentioned having a good starting spot. You know, that couple tenths at the end there could change where he starts, because you're going to want to be the first one up through the hill and down through the hill at this track. I mean, if you
Definitely.
can be, that's going to be a clear advantage.
Yep. Shaggy did confirm that is the final qualifying session. So that is going to do it. Once they update the data here, we can update the ticker. And that way those that have qualified will know where they stand, as long as they remember their qualifying.
I think we do. I think it is, and Shaggy will probably confirm it. It's a rolling start, so that'll help a little bit. Give a little space. Start the race.
There we go. We've got the updated ticker information with the split cutoff times. As usual, we've got S7R's WID as the leader in the Group 1 division, and Jorge Sr. as our leader in the Group 3 division. We had 23 total qualifiers in Group 3, so unfortunately 2 drivers are going to be eliminated. We have 19 drivers in the Group 1 category, so we do have room for two drivers to come in if they want to start at the back of the field in Split 3.
If I was a GR3 driver that didn't make it, that's what I would be doing.
There you go. All right, well, that's going to do it.
Really?
That's a wrap for this one. Our next broadcast will be the races that are going to occur on Friday night, starting at 7 p.m. Central. You will find that broadcast on Papa's channel, at PapasHouseOfGame on YouTube. So definitely go check him out. And then T-Case will be broadcasting the Saturday races, which will be Split 2. That starts at 1 p.m. Central Time. So go find him on YouTube at TCase101. For those of you out there that have listened to this qualifying broadcast, please remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons. We would love to have you back in the future. I will be running the broadcast in round 6 on Saturday. And then we'll be helping do commentary for this qualifying session for the finals week. So, all right. Krulov, I'd like to thank you for joining us in the booth here. It was really nice talking to you, getting to know what you are about, what NVR is all about. I hope you enjoyed your time in the booth.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I appreciate the invite, and I'll come back whenever you want somebody to talk. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's definitely a fun time. You know, once you get up here in the booth and start, chatting about racing and cars and all that stuff, it's a different experience. So we appreciate having you, man.
Definitely,
All right.
definitely.
You guys have a great night.
All right, you have a good night too, sir. And again, for everybody out there on this channel, remember, tomorrow night I am running my Joker Series, event number 11. We're going to be at Road Atlanta, running 2 Joker laps in a bunch of the pro-tuned American muscle cars. That is going to be a blast. Definitely come back for that. We will be kicking that off at 7 p.m. Central tomorrow on this channel right here. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Chuck, you got anything you want to say before we sign off as well?
No, I might actually tune into your broadcast for the pro-tuned, Joker Series American car thing going on tomorrow. Everybody knows I like my muscle cars. I like my American machines. So, make sure everybody check out Sal and hit like and subscribe. And, we will see you on the next broadcast.
Sounds good. All right, everybody, take care. Peace out. Be nice to one another. We will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Well, PHG family, you stayed to the last lap. Hands up, screens up. One more time for the ride. Turn tonight. You held the line with me through red flags and green light.
Pit lane story, full gas, hearts. We chase that finish sound.
Now the last spring fades away,
But we ain't slowing down.
we hear that engine call.
One more roll of thunder.
Keep that fire in your chest.
We're going back under.
PHG World Series Season 4.
We were born for more. Until next time,
We hit the floor, we hit the floor.
PHG World Series Season 4. Keep that engine roll. Until next time,
We run it back once more.
You saw the slide, you saw the save.
You saw the last lap grin.
Every wheel, the wheel, every close call.
We felt you leaning in.
The checkered flag don't mean goodbye, just means the night went wild.
Save that spot for the next green. We'll meet you in a while.
When the lights go low and the final screen is glowing,
All that talk, all that heat.
still keeps the whole room flowing.
PHG World Series Season 4.
We were born for more. Until next time,
We hit the floor, we hit the floor.
PHG World Series Season 4. Keep that engine roll. Until next time,
We run it back once more. To every driver who clipped the apex. To every viewer who called the move before it happened. To every late night legend who stayed until the end. You made this more than a race.
You made it a room. You made it a ritual. You made it a reason to come back hungry.
When the helmets come off, the story still rolls.
When the track goes quiet, we still hear you.
So keep your colors ready.
Keep your flag high.
Keep your friends close.
Keep your timing sharp.
Because the next start line is already waiting on us.
Slow it down, let it breathe. Then we rise like a fire. Hands together, heart to heart. Then we climb even higher.
PHG the flag. PHG World Series Season 4. We ran it hard tonight. Track and fire in the night, hands on the wheel, eyes on the bend. Every green light had us all in. Hear that engine call, hear that crowd reply. We don't slow down, we just aim for sky. Until next time, keep the wheel in line. Until next time, PHG runs tonight. Until next time, we'll be back. All right. Until next time. Pit lane talk and a fresh set of tires, bold on the brakes, and we climbed higher. Every pass clean, every lap pure. That kind of pressure keeps you hungry for more. Hear that engine call, hear that crowd reply. We don't slow down, we just aim for sky. Till next time, keep the wheel in line. Until next time, PHG runs tonight. Until next time, we'll be back. All right. Until next time. One more look at the screen glow. One more nod to the crew. One more mile in the rear view. Before we say goodnight, we came in loud. We came in proud. And we leave it wide open for the next run around. Until next time, keep the wheel in line. Until next time, PHG runs tonight. Until next time, we'll be back. All right. Until next time. So from the whole pit, from the whole stream, from every driver, every crew member, and everybody watching at home, thank you for riding with us through PHG World Series Season 4. Thank you for the cheers, the tension, the close calls, the clean passes, and the ones that made us hold our breath. We felt every lap with you, and we'll carry this one with us all the way to the next green flag. Keep your helmets ready, keep your hearts in it, and keep coming back when the lights go up again. Until next time.